Flava FM, Coppola's most loved radio station. Good evening to you, and welcome to the Flava FM football show. My name is Pius Mambo Jr. I'm your host on the Flava FM football show. And as we usually do every Wednesday evening, which is 90 minutes of talking nothing but football, plus extra time. And sometimes if you don't control extra time, it goes into extra time. But nevertheless, we are here as usual. We are broadcasting on 87.7 on the Copperbelt, 96.9 in Lusaka, and 92.1 in Solwezi. We are also live on Flava TV using the Flava FM radio app. Live on Flava TV, also using channel 119 in Lusaka. I know last week we did announce that the show, and actually Flava FM, Flava TV should I say, will be live in a lot more places. We are not yet on, but almost, probably by the end of this week. Just look out. Flava TV will be on in many sites, at least 15 sites, which I did announce last week. And just hold your horses. By next week, you'll be watching the Flava FM football show live wherever you are, if you want to watch it on Top Star. But apart from that, we are also live on Facebook and live on YouTube. Just look for Flava FM and watch us live on those platforms. Mr. Arthur Luando, good evening, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Good to have you. Sorry.
Bola Ibaba.
Liverpool.
If you remember my website, Pastor, Mukuru. Period.
Yeah.
And actually, vengeance is for the Lord only. You're going to win it, not to revenge. Yes. Because the concept is go and enjoy your football and play to win. Yeah. But if you're going to go there to play to revenge,
if Mourinho was your coach, you would have said the better team lost.
Yeah. No, but they had one chance and they took advantage.
Yes.
Yeah.
But two chances.
That is maturity. That is maturity.
Alderman Patrick Tembo, good evening. Good to have you back in the studio with us.
Good evening, Papias. Good evening, our dear listeners and viewers. Happy to be back. Yes. Like Papias said, it's 90 plus minutes.
Good to have you. How was it watching the Champions League as a neutral?
Well. It was exciting. I had expected Liverpool to pick it, but hey, it wasn't to be. It was a holla day again. We'll come back. We were done.
Yes.
But I think a better team lost that.
The better team lost. We'll come and dissect that one a bit more later on. And Mr. Danny Kambanja, good to have you in the studio. Halla Madrid.
Halla. Ala wadi bwana ma. Wadi umina.
Mwadi umina.
Yeah.
But tell us.
But Danny has been made to swallow his words. 4 months back, he was not so confident
but you can't blame
about his team. You know, the way they started.
Even just winning this is it's a proper miracle for Madrid.
But then it was,
they
picked the league, and then they picked the
even just winning the league as well. Because they started quite badly.
Yeah.
They getting kundondolole. No, at past, the way football is, Madrid, the way they started the league, they really struggled a lot.
Yeah.
And even getting into the finals, it was a miracle. Winning it was the icing sugar on the cake. Once Madrid gets into the finals, last week, I was the only one who predicted Madrid winning.
Same here, even
Arthur, you said Liverpool pick it. Bachali, Liverpool pick it. And Pius. No, let me finish up, Arthur.
Everything is recorded.
We were predicting When analyzing, you said if Liverpool fails to score in the first 30 minutes, when it came to prediction, you said Liverpool will take it. Bachari said Liverpool will take it. Pass predicted 3-1.
Me, I said 3-1.
Liverpool will win. I said Madrid will win in 90 minutes. And what I said came to pass. All I would say is 14th title in UEFA is not a mean achievement. Now Madrid, they're the only ones who deserve to be called Hala. Not anything else. Not even any other team. Hala.
No Hala Barcelona.
No. No.
Okay, yeah, no. Congratulations. We'll come back and talk about the football part of the match. I know you are still celebrating. At the end of the show, I'll play the Real Madrid song as I've promised you.
You just have to. Real Madrid and Mukitwe. Muntu minute come on Friday after Zambia win.
This promise is done.
No, I'm gonna own up. If Zambia fails to win, icon. Yeah.
If Zambia fails to win, Okay. All right. So, looking at some of the messages that we have on today's show, we have. Before I mention, in the next 15 minutes, as we kick off the show, please excuse my voice. I was almost losing my voice, but I wasn't shouting for Real Madrid, but I went somewhere and there was a lot of dust, so my throat, yeah. But in the next 15 minutes, we'll be chatting with newly promoted FC Muza head coach, Mr. Masao Sotembo, on just giving us an experience of FC Muza and how they had their battle to come into the Premier League, and also being a former national team player. He'll give us an insight of what it's like going on national duty, playing in some of these difficult places. So we can look forward to that in the next 15 minutes. But in the meantime, we have a few messages just to run through. Good evening, football gurus. I greet you all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. First and foremost, congratulations to Madrid and Casablanca for their powerful, wonderful victories. And on the local side, I'm happy that finally, at last, our very own influential striker Barbara Banda has been included in our women's national team squad. And on the government side, we thank you for releasing the money on time. And for the first time, our women have been included as well, which is good. A good move. Hope the money will be taken to good use. Finally, I'm enjoying the Africa Cup qualifiers. All the best. Zambia will win. This is Santos. Thank you, Santos. You are always with us. Good evening, Flava Football Show. Congratulations to Real Madrid for teaching Liverpool how to win finals without going to penalties. Hard luck, Orlando Pirates, after losing to RS Berkane in the final of the Caf Confederations Cup. And hard luck to Pitso Musomane for losing to Moroccan team Wydad Casablanca, which means Morocco is the powerhouse of African trophies: 2 CHAN, 2 Caf Confederations Cup, and Champions League. Morocco.
Solid.
Even the performance in the CHAN, it was dominant. Yeah. From the first whistle, they played us, isn't it? They where they hammered us, to the last whistle where they won in the final. Morocco was solid, and it's translating to the football domain.
Yeah, no doubt.
At local level.
Seriousness,
the local program is perfect. It's the best in Africa so far.
Yeah. We'll come back and also dissect what happened in the final of the Caf Champions League. Ninebo Victor Kuchamboli, Zambia wins 1-0. Believe me. Which match? both games. I'll take both games 1-0. Good evening, Flava FM football analyst. I wish you all the best. All the best to the Chipolopolo boys on the Friday game. I'm Amos from Gunnarton. Then the boys falter when it matters most. Faz never getting the right thing done. Net effect trailing Comoros and bon voyage to Cote d'Ivoire. 23. Once more, this is GCY in Lusaka. The kind of football these teams from North Africa are playing, it will take a really big investment for our Zambian clubs to close the gap. In fact, that's one of the things I want to talk about today. After watching that Caf Champions League, how far behind are we? We'll come and talk about it as we go, because that is a cardinal question.
Yes, I like the way you summarized it.
Yes, exactly. All right. Good evening, panel. I'm enjoying the show. Nkana and Man United for life. Malachi within Kitwe. Evening, panel. I'm enjoying the show. But Danny. Hala, Madrid. He knows better when it comes to the final cup game. If Benzema won't win the Ballon d'Or, it's fake. It's a fake award. The squad that has been called to camp has no natural number 6. My opinion, Mwepu can play at 6. In goal, can't even predict who will start because they dropped Lawrence, who is better than those with the team. All the best, Zambia. John Nkweto, Kitwe Luangwa. Okay. Hala Madrid. We won 1-0. Tough game, tough times. We got it thanks to Vinicius Jr. I'm a Madrista. My wife is Liverpool. Imagine the tension in my home that day. Mate Mafo Mindolo rather. Thank you so much. This one says, hi sports. I hope and trust that you are fine. If we were Man U, na tubelela tulelolela fie 2022-2023 season ba Liverpool murikwisa Real Madrid temu nobe ba Humphrey Banda na ba Saidi Piri vale lilafye kuno kukakolo from Patrick Chilongo pa Kakolo Clinic. Yeah, people are crying. It's Bola Ibaba for sure. Hi, wise man. Patrick Kapipilo from Mutanda, Kalumbila, Manu for life. Thank you, Patrick, for your message. Good evening, Flava team. Mr. Tembo, talk to Faz talk to Faz to look for companies and big individuals to support and bring Eden University Football League to DSTV Supersport. TV3 is not enough. Moreover, it's not everyone who watches or has Top Star. This will help for our players and good referees to be seen. We do have good referees who officiate the Eden League, but they have been given chance to go to the Super League, and today you are not able to see the quality. This goes to football players too, but if the league comes to Supersport, then we will be able to see them, including other countries will see them. Odeman, you've been given an assignment.
Challenge taken.
Yeah.
See what the new league offers.
Yeah.
New season.
I'm just trying to greet all the Zesco United FC supporters. Bigger the team, better the value. Say hi to Mr. Eric Mulwanda and others. Kafula Mwamba, Zesco United FC, Kitwe Supporters, Publicity Secretary Chimwemwe. Thank you for that. I think Bola Yaba Paspin Carlos from Solwezi. Okay, I think he was trying to say maybe Rikudu is the best. We'll come and chat about that. Good evening. The team in Ivory Coast has somebody is not as strong as the one we beat in 2012. Congrats, Madrid, Miguelo in Lusaka. Is it as strong?
No,
not as strong.
The 2012 team was better.
Because there's no Drogba, no Yaya Toure, no Kolo Toure.
Yeah, there were big guns there, big guns.
But some of them are still there. Max Gradel.
That's great. Just three.
Yeah, a couple of the guys. Yeah. Let's see. Congratulations to the football team. How many teams is Zambia sending to the continent? This question will never stop. Congratulations to Madrid for beating that Liverpool. Very much we know sana. Moniwanu Vatembo Dani Pastor Ngoma in Lusaka.
Thank you
very much, Pastor Ngoma.
Okay. Good evening, Flava. I think when it comes to the quota system, my take is that clubs should be allowed to sign up to 10 foreign players, but only 5 foreign players should be named in the 18-member match day squad in the league. But if they are in continental games, they should be allowed to use any number they want. Secondly, I think that since we are using 5 subs in the league, the number of substitutes should be increased from 7 to 9, like in Europe. And Pius, why do you hate Romanian football? Johan Romansky.
How?
Where did I hate Romanian football?
Who talks about it even? He wants us to be covering.
Or maybe when we, or maybe because we haven't covered it much. Yeah, but we shall cover it. Football show. We are waiting for you. We are waiting for the show, and you should have time to start. A time to start. 1915. We started at 1915. I'm Davis Kakuta from Solwezi. 1915 because of the Flava FM TV news. Then we transitioned from the Flava FM TV news to the Flava FM football show. So 1915 hours. That is the starting time of the Flava FM football show. Good results by Madrid by beating Liverpool in the Champions League. This is Chola Nkalamo. Thank you, Chola, for that message. Zambia national soccer team, commonly known as the Chipolo Polo Boys, they are going to beat Ivory Coast on Friday evening by 3-0. And the scorers are Patson Daka 2, Fashion Sakala 1. I'm Elijah Temo from New Kitwe in Nyali. So please, we pray for our boys so that they do well by slashing Ivory Coast. All right. Good. How are you, Wise Man, and the football show? Yes, it's a good squad Zambia have as at this time. We don't want to say we need a draw. Even a draw, it's a mistake. We need to slash Ivory Coast so that we give more June on Comoros. Otherwise, if we lost or draw with Comoros will despise us. The game will be tough, and we shall be playing with more pressure. So earlier, the better. Let us have a positive mindset that will beat the elephants at home. Moreover, we are the bullets. No doubt we need to kill the elephant. I am Wavered Sangwapo here in Solwezi waiting for the football show. one scenario before we get onto the phone with the coach. Well, Oderman, how much pressure will we put on ourselves? Because this game is more like a friendly with Ivory Coast. Will we put a lot of pressure on ourselves if we do badly against Ivory Coast?
Well, certainly not. I think we should know which side of our bread is buttered.
Yes.
For me, the actual qualifiers start on 7th against Comoros.
Yeah.
If we exert so much energy and we get maybe injuries, we are going to disadvantage ourselves. Of course, I'm not saying Zambia should approach this game casually, but the actual qualifier starts on 7th against Comoros.
Yeah.
That we should bear in mind. So I would approach this game with maybe just avoiding a loss, but we just have to win at home on the
7th.
On 7th.
Danny, how much pressure?
There is a lot of pressure on Zambia, whether you like it or not. And playing Cote d'Ivoire, who have already qualified, and they happen to be the host. And the other thing that we need to keep in mind is the game against Cote d'Ivoire is like a mock exam before you write the actual final exam. So if you fail to perform very well in your mock exams, the chances of you performing very well in your final exams are very, very slim. So this game, you should take it with a lot of seriousness, because the result at the end of the game will be able to show us which direction we're able to take. If we lose, we have got a very weak mental issues as with our players and the technical staff. Definitely, the guys will be able to press a panic button and may end up having a lot of pressure at home against Comoros, who are not non-entities anymore, who might even give us a tough time. Probably maybe might end up getting a draw. So a positive result in Cote d'Ivoire will be a big bonus for the lads out there.
Arthur, very quickly.
Before Arthur comes, just so I don't what Dana said, more especially if Comoros will beat Lesotho. Then I think
we'll have pressure. Are you in agreement, Arthur?
Yeah, totally. I mean, this so-called friendly, you need the drive, you need momentum. We can't afford to lose, because a loss will actually give us a bit of goosebumps.
Or we can lose, but not badly.
Yeah, maybe 2-1. It will help us
lose with a good performance.
Yeah, good, especially good performance.
Okay.
For me, Comoros is it's not a bad team anymore. They've imported talent now.
Yeah.
So they are solid as well.
Okay.
But we'll give them a good game.
All right. Okay, so I think let's get the coach on the phone and see if we can have a quick chat with him. All right. 1 minute.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening, Coach Masao Tembo.
Yeah, good evening.
How are you today?
No, I'm very fine. Very fine. Just chilling with the family.
Just chilling with the family,
yes.
Relaxing before you go and do proper battle.
Yes, yes.
So, first of all, congratulations for guiding FC Muza to the top flight. And tell us, how easy, difficult, challenging was that battle?
Thank you very much. Good evening. And yes, it was not easy.
Yes.
But I was just very happy that when I went to Mazabuka, the team, the players, the young boys, they managed to adapt very quickly to my philosophy and what we really wanted as I was joining Muza.
Yes.
They really adapted so quickly, and that made us very happy as technical bench.
Yeah.
It was not easy, it was challenging. Teams which are being sponsored by and an individual trying to get a sponsorship. We also thank him, the director, Chimwemwe. He was really supportive. The committee members, with we have a seasoned secretary there, Joe Kabika.
Yes.
They were really supportive, and I think we spoke the same language as I was joining Musa. What we really wanted, we spoke the same language, and that made me very happy. I think that's how we even managed to bounce back to the Premier League, because football is not a one-man show.
Yes.
Football is a lot of heads brought together. So at Musa, you can say no, he's a director, but he's a football person.
Yeah.
He really also contributed, and we thank him, and the committee, we really thank him for that. Thank you.
And as you look at entering the top flight, what is the mindset around FC Musa? I know FC Musa has been in the top flight before. Is the mindset to try? What is the main aim once you get up? To stay up, survival, or even try and go for it?
Yes, if you look a few years back, if you look at the history of Zambian football, not even going far, I'll just give an example of Caf Celtics. They qualified, and just one season, and they go back.
Yeah.
So I think as Musa, I think that mindset, we'll try to work on changing that mindset of when a team qualifies to the Super League, that mindset of saying, no, this season you just have to survive. Why should you just survive?
Yes.
It's a competition.
Yeah.
So you have to compete. What is everyone fighting for?
Yeah.
Even the champions will start together at 0 points, the champions, red arrows.
Yes.
So you yourselves, why should you tell yourselves, say, we just want to survive?
Yeah.
I know, yes, sometimes it's just mind games or trying to take off the pressure from the players. But for me, I think when you're in the Premier League, it's not an accident. You have to fight what is there. Fight for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And is the team looking to strengthen as you now compete with some of the bigger giants of Zambian football?
Yes. And like I said earlier, as FC Musa, the owner trying to get corporate world to join and to sponsor the team. It's difficult sponsoring a team as an individual.
Yes.
So hopefully, what I've heard, the communication is very good, and hopefully the corporate world will come on board and help to sponsor the team. I feel we don't have to overhaul the team, but it's very, very important that you add a few players so that you can do battle in the Premier League, because experience also plays a role. So would be very happy if we can add a few players and continue with the same boys who qualified the team to the Premier League.
What is the atmosphere like in Mazabuka, having Mazabuka now having a team in the top flight? I know there was a lot of excitement once qualification was achieved into the Super League, but are the fans looking forward to see the likes of Nkana, Power Dynamos, Green Buffaloes coming into their town?
Yes, they were very, very, very happy. I think the fans are very happy, and believe you me, it's not only Mazabuka, but Southern Province.
Yes,
because we had an end-of-year party. The Southern Province Minister Cornelius Mwepa attended, and I think during the ceremony, he even mentioned that don't think it's only Mazabuka fans who are happy. I think the whole Southern Province, we've got 2 teams now.
Yes.
Green Eagles, of course, and Musa in the Premier League. I think even in the Eden University, we had people traveling all the way from Livingstone.
Yes.
Coming to watch Musa. So for us to qualify to the Premier League, I think we expect a lot, and we are asking all the fans to rely behind Musa. Fans from Kalomo, Zimba, Choma, Pemba, to mention a few, Monze,
yes.
a few, of course. Just to mention a few, I think it will be an interesting season.
Yeah.
We are really, really looking forward to it as Musa FC.
Someone was telling me that they are looking forward to see you doing battle again with your former boss Perry from NAPSA. So I think it will be quite an interesting lock of horns both in Mazabuka and in Lusaka.
Yes, it's unfortunately that every time when Perry is mentioned,
yes,
Masas will come up. When
yes,
mentioned, Perry will come up. It's not about Perry and Masas. I think the competition is wide.
Yes.
But of course, we can't run away from the truth. That will come up. Masas and Perry to come up.
Yes.
The truth, because we've come a long way with my colleague.
Yes, you have.
I really, really appreciate him, what he's really done for me. We really worked well where we came from, and I wish him well, and I wish him all the best also in the coming season. Looking forward to face him again.
No, thank you. Then moving away from FC Musa, Zambia is playing 2 critical games starting Friday, and then next week on Tuesday against Ivory Coast, and then against Comoros. And I single you out because you are one of the privileged individuals who wore that shirt for Zambia. You have played in an AFCON tournament. Tell us, what are your thoughts in the upcoming games? Zambia is looking good, isn't it?
I think we've assembled a good team, because if you look on paper, our boys from Europe are in.
Yes.
I think the names which are there on paper, they are looking good. So what is remaining now, the 90 minutes, we see what they can do.
Yeah.
I think if you mention Comoros, as we were growing up, those teams, even the time I was playing, those were the teams which would beat, 4-0, 5-0. But I feel, this time around, football has changed. There's a lot involved in football technology. Countries have really, really advanced, and they've even surpassed us.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't take it lightly. If you mention Comoros, if you watch the previous AFCON, Comoros did very well.
Yes.
They're a very good team. We shouldn't underrate them. So I feel, yes, we've got good names which are there, but I feel there's more, and there's a lot which has to be done to Zambian football, because it doesn't sound well. And, I don't think I'm not the only one who's not happy that we've failed to qualify.
Yes.
To the Africa Cup, the previous Africa Cups. It's not a good sign for Zambia. I think Zambia is a big country, footballing nation. The population is big.
Yeah.
So I think we just have to sit down. Everyone who's involved in football, we bring our heads together. This tug of war, these others pulling this side, others pulling this side, it won't take us anywhere. For me, I feel it's about time we come together. Even those enemies of football, we bring them together. We come together. We find one solution. I think we'll be able to do very well, and we'll be smiling.
Yeah.
We will win the second AFCON if we can do that.
Yeah. Masaso, thank you so much for making time to speak with us. I know you and me have come a long way from your days in when you used to play for Nchanga Rangers, and I was trying to calculate today. It's about almost 24 years ago, and good to see that you're still active and relevant in the Zambian football circles.
Yes. Yeah, in Chingola, and I hope people you work with know that you're a very, very good DJ. We used to mix, before we knew about mixing music.
Yes.
You would come and mix some CDs. I think you had a sister from America or England, They used to send you those nice CDs.
Yes.
So to envy you mixing music. So I hope you can do it up to now.
No, it's like
That's
playing.
How long we've come. I remember.
Yes, it's like playing football. Some of these things you don't forget.
Yes. No, thank you very much. I appreciate, and anytime, please call again. Anytime I can make time for you.
Thank you so much.
Football is our life.
Okay. Thank you for making time, and we wish you the best of luck as you come into the Super League with FC Muza.
No, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. That is head coach of FC Muza, Coach Masaso Tembo. We'll still talk to a few more individuals, especially that we're in off-season. People have got more time, and they can talk to us.
I didn't want to spoil the interview by reminding him of the red card I gave him.
Oh, you gave him a red card?
When Zanaco played against Nchanga Rangers.
Ah.
So I thought, let this just pass,
Yes.
It's a good fellow,
you should have told me about it before.
Brilliant coach.
I would have told him.
Yeah.
So before we come back to more messages.
Yeah, but I'm just happy for him, Pass. Very few people do a reverse and move positively forward.
Yeah.
Very, very few people.
Yeah.
And what that shows that he's a humble person.
Yeah.
He humbled himself, went to the lower ranks, and he's come out big.
Back into the Super League.
Not with a big team.
Yeah.
With a team that is not as big as Powder, but it's in the same Premiership. So I really give him kudos on that one.
Yeah. So as we move on, a few lower rank results as we wind up some of the last results of leagues being played locally. But I'll start with the Chimwemwe Soccer League. Good to start from amateur ranks. Week 11 results for the senior teams. Star Bullets 3, JJ Warriors 2, Kapoto Black Stars 2, Young Sharp Boys 0, Kawama Eagles 1, Kawama Academy 1, Ituna 0, BK Twatasha 2, Quicksilver 11, and All Blacks 0 by Quicksilver. SK Kawama 1 and Chivote Sporting 2. Then for reserve teams, we have Star Bullets 4, JJ Warriors 2, Kapoto Black Stars 1, Young Sharp Boys 4, Kawama Eagles 1, Kawama Academy 0, Ituna 2, BK Totasha 0, Quicksilver 2, All Blacks 0, SK 2, that's SK Kawama 2, and Chivote Sporting 1. And the way the tables are looking for the senior teams, Star Bullets are on top with 21 points, JJ Warriors 19, Kapoto Black Stars 19, Quicksilver 17, and BK Kawama 17 points. That's the top 5. Number 6, Chivote 17, Ituna FC 16, Sharp Boys number 8 at 15 points, Kawama Eagles number 9 with 14 points, SK with 13 points, Kawama Academy 13 points, and bottom are All Blacks with 4 points. Then the reserve leagues, Star Bullets 26 points, Quicksilver 22 points, Kawama Academy 21 points, Chibote with 16 points, Kapoto Black Stars 15 points, BK 15 points, SK 14 points, number 8 Kawama Eagles 13 points, 9 JJ Warriors 13 points, All Blacks 11 points, Ituna FC with number 11 with 11 points, and Sharp Boys with 9 points. And we can go straight into Division 3. Last week, I'll give week 31 and week 32 results and the table. Division 3 Copperbelt, that is. We have Afri Sports 0, Nkumbu 4, Ronald Ross 0, Mflira Eagles 1, MCM Smelter 1, Sunflower 0, Young Kitwe United 0, Macan 1, Lime Hotspur 0, Chifubu Pirates 1, and Chifubu Youths and Kebi Stars was abandoned. Kasompe 1 and Chilawombe United 0, Chiwempala Stars 2, Itimpi United 0, Gurok Community 1, and Gunnarton Athletic 1. And week 32 we had Ronald Ross 0, Afri Sports 0, Sunflower 2, Nkumbu 1, Mflira Eagles 1, Young Kitwe United 0, Chifubu Pirates 2, MCM Smelter 2, Macan 2, Chifubu Youths 0, Chilabombe United 3, Lime Hotspurs 0. Kebi Stars and Chiwempala Stars was abandoned. And we had Gunnarton Athletic 2, Kasompe United 1, Itimpi United 1, and Gurok Community 0. Then some of the notes, Gunnarton is seeking the interpretation of judgment for and they are not clear with what exactly the DC lawyers have passed. Therefore, once cleared up, they will appeal. It looks like they want to appeal over one of the games. So it's still under advisement. Then as that was from week 23, that was Itimpi versus Gunnarton Athletic. With that game, there's another game from week 29, Young Kitwe United and Itimpi. Itimpi has written to the secretariat, the first secretariat, disputing the walkover, which was the ruling done in that game. The table, the way it looks, the top 4 Chifubu Pirates are leading Division 3 with 62 points. Kebi Stars, number 2 with 60 points. Kasompe United, number 3 with 55 points. And MCM Smelter, number 4 with 50 points. Then Copperbelt Division 2, there's all the games are complete, but there is a dispute in the week 22 game. Of which a verdict is still being sought for Chilabombe Sundowns versus Kalulushi Zebras. Also a week 34 match, Chambishi Youth versus Zamtan, which was abandoned, but waiting the ruling from the secretariat.
How many games were abandoned?
There's a number of games.
Discipline issues,
but yes, but I didn't give the top 4 in Division 2. Police Blue Eagles 67 points, Quattro Kitwe 62 points, Chifubu Bullets 60 points, and Score Rangers 59 points. Score Rangers done well in the top 4 for Division 2 after having come from Division 3, so they may find themselves in Division 1 Copperbelt next year. Anyway,
congratulations to Police Blue Eagles. I think with them it's confirmed.
For them it's confirmed. It's a done deal. Yeah. So good to see that. Any comments there before we move on?
Just those abandoned games. It's a bad sign for.
You see, we are going to conduct a seminar for football administrators at lower level. They do not understand their roles. Hence, these abandonments that you are hearing, they interfere with the referees and so on. There's a lot which we need to do. Yeah, but FAS has decentralized now, so we need to move in quickly and conduct a number of seminars.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
All right. So I think moving on, we can head into. Imagine already we're going into other news, Oderman. Before, the Eden playoffs. Oderman, we didn't have Luapula province completed as at last week. Please give us a rundown of what it's looking at, the final teams for the playoffs of the Eden University.
Thank you. Muchinga province will be represented by Rio Nakonde. Copperbelt province will be represented by Mtondo. Central province will be represented by Aquila. Eastern province will be represented by Katete Rangers. Lusaka province will be represented by Riflemen. Northwestern province, Zesco Solwezi. Southern province, Blue Arrows. This is a ZAF sponsored side.
Yeah.
Western province, Zesco Shockers. They were there. They are being coached by former Zesco player. Northern province, Mpulungu Haba. Back. And of course, Luapula province, Zesco Luapula. So there are 3 Zesco teams. You know what that tells you is that
only one service team.
There are 2
service teams. Riflemen from Lusaka and Blue Arrows.
And Blue Arrows. So it just shows that the corporate world is still keeping themselves away from football. So you get a point.
Yes.
I would have loved to hear teams being sponsored by companies. You have Mtondo, which is being sponsored by individuals. Katete Rangers is just the farmers. Where is the corporate world? We used to have a lot of teams sponsored by companies. You can't say that the companies are doing so bad that not even 1 or 2 teams can be sponsored. I think maybe government just has to bring a deliberate policy, It's just something else. We can't go on like this.
Yeah, it's a bit worrying.
It's worrying. Then our football won't grow. It won't be competitive.
Yes, because
if you talk of all these ESCO teams, they have a limitation.
Yes, there's a limitation to what they can do, how they can grow their teams.
Yes.
Same with the service teams.
You need the competition. You need the private companies to come in. We used to have Chibuku, we used to have Coca-Cola, we used to have Dan, can you help me? Colgate-Palmolive. We had the score itself, rope. That's why that was the time we had Vitafoam. That was the time we had very, very good players because there was competition. But if it goes on like this, we're pious. We are still coming back to one of the.
For me, I think we'll still continue, but the thing is, we may stagnate for a long time because we are being left behind by the rest of Africa.
Yes.
Okay.
There's no doubt about that. So these teams will meet in Lusaka, 9th to 13th, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. From 9th to 13th June, there will be, of course, Group A and B. The one group will have 5 teams, the other group will have 5 teams. So the top 2 teams automatically go to to National Division 1. The top 2 teams from each group. That's how it is going to pan out. I don't know if we can start guessing which one will. But the beauty about Copperbelt is that each time Copperbelt is represented, the team goes to the National League from the time it started.
Yeah.
We had Konkola, then we had after Konkola it was last year's team was what? Jumulo. Yes, Jumulo. Yeah, it was Jumulo. Yeah. So this time Copper Belt is being represented by Mtondo. We sent very senior referees. I sent very senior referees there to guide them on the laws of the game, just to prepare them. Yeah, because also they have to. I'm happy they're preparing very well. They are determined. Yeah, so for as far as the refereeing aspect, we sent our cream, two CAF instructors to go and help Mtondo. That is the contribution we made as Copper Belt. Now away from the analysts. Yeah.
So I was having a chat with our colleague Coach Vincent, and we were talking about how the playoffs, playoffs in other countries seem to be very big events, well marketed, played in big stadiums. But like for me personally, I'm of the view that it's just a small tournament to sort out issues. Because I feel it should be, like the ones in the UK, for example. They play finals at Wembley to qualify for the Premiership. Don't you think we need to? It should be a heavily marketed event, such that it's played Heroes Stadium. You have maybe one group. The other group is at Levi Mwanawasa or Nkoloma.
Even a stadium is a motivation.
Yeah.
It's like a nice pitch, yes, but I think they're demeaning the tournament. They must really make it. It will help players also look big. Look at the bigger picture.
It should be, yes. It should be a big event which players themselves should look forward to. We're going to play in Levi Mwanawasa. It may be their only chance they will ever play in Levi Mwanawasa. Unlike Benadani, who plays social football.
Before Adani comes in, this is exactly what we've been talking about, lack of participation from the corporate world.
Yeah.
Because that tournament needs to be sponsored.
It's big, pass.
It's big. Teams go there and they stay for 5 days, and they have to, first helps them a bit, and they also have to put in a bit of money. If you hire Hero Stadium, for instance, do you know how much it is per day?
It's expensive.
It's very expensive. It's a lot of money. Even then you go to Sunset, they will say, no, we are busy, we are also using our stadium, we are innovating, and so on and so forth. So I think there is need for sponsors to come. We need to attract sponsorship. I agree with you. These games are big. There is an opportunity for sponsorship, but as long as the corporate world keeps away from football matters, we are going to be in a lot of problems. Not so, Dan.
Yeah. I would say this, Pius. As much as we want to say that these playoffs are big, we need to look at the background. Where are we coming from and what has been happening in the past? And how much money has been pumped in. If money is not there, people need to work within their budgets. So let's not condemn the guys or try to.
No, we're not condemning them.
No, it's my. I'm Arthur. Arthur, you had your chance. Can I just finish up saying something? No, it's my opinion. I did not mention your name. I'm just saying it here.
We spoke before you.
Yeah, but did I mention you?
Okay. Danny, go ahead.
Pass. It's like Arthur's got a better thought, so let him continue.
It's not about better thought, it's a choice of language.
Arthur, pass.
Okay, Arthur, you come in.
Let me say this. It's not a matter of trying to correct each other on radio. I said, let's not demoralize the guys or condemn them. They are making an initiative which needs to be applauded by each one of us. Looking at where we are coming from, this league is only sponsored by Eden University. Then first come in here and there. So we're going to start talking about big things. What have we put in? Football is not cheap. Let's not just spice up things here. Let's try to be real and honest. The only alternative pitch and venue. Looking at the budget, people have worked out logistics and everything. So going forward, we should ensure that we open up an olive branch to the corporate world. They come on board, because even these people that are coming on board, they need an incentive. They are not just going to waste their money for nothing. What's there in store for them? Yes, it's everyone's dream to play at Heroes, even at Levi Monawasa. But the bottom line is, how much money have we pumped in? Let's not just say, do you have the money? So the guys that have put everything in place, we need to applaud them. That's our standard. Until we take things seriously. The corporate world, they need to come on board, but what's there for them in store?
Very, very well spoken, Badani. And I think following what you've said, I feel that we need to look into it. It's I mean, we've accepted we are where we are, but what I'm saying is we need to look into it to make it a bigger event, and of course we need to draw sponsors. So I think there's a lot of homework on the side of FAS and other stakeholders to try and reel in other sponsors, because there's a lot of repercussions just from this small tournament, because the way we've fashioned it, we'll call it a small tournament, but it can be a huge tournament, because Eden now is hugely followed countrywide. So I think I personally think a lot of work still needs to be done. We can accept, yes, we are here, but from us we need to move from point A to point B, so that it's a win-win, of course, if we get more done, we make this thing bigger than it actually is.
You know what surprises me most, Pius? Was it the first one? I think that's where I went to. I was in Lusaka. I happened to be in Lusaka, the Lilai ones.
Yes.
I sneaked in, and the lack of interest from the coaches from the Super League. I thought that Super League coaches should take an interest to look at the talent which is there. You get the point? But you find there is no interest.
Yeah.
You know, there is a lot of talent. That's where the Christian Saides are made. You know, I'm just giving an example. There's so many. So one would have expected the big teams to the off season after all. They're supposed to congregate there and look at which player they can look at, because all the players there are looking forward to playing to the Super League in Super League.
So if you can jump there then and go straight to Super League, it's an advantage.
You know, but they would rather go across and get average players from Congo, leaving the talent here which they can easily develop.
Yeah, I heard Mantem, just an addition to what you have said. Last year we had some seasoned coaches that were in attendance in Lusaka, and they were there, and certain players got motivated.
Yes.
And if the trend can still continue, them being in attendance, and also trying to give chance to these upcoming players, because raw talent can still be made into something that will be able to be of great value. Unlike of going to substandard material outside the country, because most of the foreign players that we have, yes, as much as we would want to talk big about them, but if you look at their quality and what they are able to offer, it's more or less like
even the age
compared to
most of them come in the evening of their careers.
Yeah, but that's where the Lamek Bandas, the Clean Kangwas started. You know, that's the same environment. So,
and before we conclude, I would say this: you're talking about coaches way back. Coaches way back, they had the passion.
Yeah,
it was not about the money.
No,
it was about the passion. The money was secondary. But now, most of these people have gone into coaching. It's about money, so they will choose where they will be able to make money. There, it's about passion.
Instant results.
Yes, they want instant results.
No
so
development.
It's about passion. You know, way back we had coaches who would be able to identify potential talent and be able to make it big. And we saw great players come out of rural ranks until they're able to represent at a national level. So we have got a very long way to go.
Yeah. Yep. So will it be when you went to Lelai, it was a closed door tournament? Or?
No, it wasn't, but the lack of interest from the clubs. But it really, last year's one improved.
What about
improved a bit, like what Danny is saying.
Danny,
these games are supposed to attract huge crowds.
Yes.
Because those are the best teams in the province.
Yeah.
So people are supposed to look at how did this team make it? Let's go and see the talent. You know?
Yeah.
That's what is supposed to be happening.
So that the money is with the people.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like what Danny said, people want instant results. They are under pressure. They don't produce results in the 5 weeks. They are kicked out. You know, so the passion that the Smalas had, you know, Ajax, Smala used 10 hours is coaching youngsters. You know, 14 hours is with the senior team. That's the passion what Dan was talking about. Because they could develop players right from the grassroots all the way up to senior team.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, sometimes employers are also to blame. Who to give someone that leeway? You know, I mean, it doesn't happen. They'll just kick you. First 5 weeks, you're out.
Yeah, because,
So, before we go to the Zambia national team, other news?
Yes, I have a few. But one which is, maybe let me start with the one which is very interesting, and I think I've not seen it for a long time. Hey, Bora Iba, Pius, last week there's something very interesting which happened in South Africa. There was a team called Matiasi Football Club. It's a lower ranked team. It's based in Limpopo. They wanted to win promotion and they needed the goal difference of
1 point.
No, they needed the 48
so they have to
goals.
score over 50 something.
Yeah, so that they had to score over 50 goals. And they were playing a team called Nsami Mighty Beds.
And then they had the penalty.
They beat that team 59-1. Organized the league. This is embarrassing.
No, but what was the last
they beat the team 59-1.
And they needed how many goals?
They needed 58. And they achieved it. You know, with the 41 of the goals scored as own goals. They were eyeing promotion. This looks like drama. Gentlemen, is serious. Organize the league.
That is much fixing.
You know, in Limpopo province.
That is more than Bola Bet.
More than Bola Bet. So I think the authorities did very well. They just banned them for life.
Yeah, they did well.
I mean, football doesn't need such things. No. In modern day and age, you win by 59-1.
You actually banned both
Can't
teams.
even lose count of goals.
Imagine.
You actually banned both teams.
I thought it was a joke, so when I went deep,
Actually, I saw it trending.
You did,
Yeah, I saw it trending.
I mean, that's not.
Together with that other issue where the team was supposed to gain promotion, then the owner of the team went in and stopped the guy from taking the penalty. And
But then there was also another one which involved 30 goals. I think 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, I remember.
Such things should be stopped in football. And kudos to the
players
authorities
who go with entertain such go and score 30 goals should be banned for life.
Yeah, I think even this team. Okay, since they were on goals, that team has been spared a bit. They were their opponents.
No,
they should also have been investigated.
But if they're on goals, they're supposed to ban the guys who are scoring their own goals.
Yes, that's why they banned them. Because
which team did they ban? The one that scored the 59 goals, or was the one that scored the 51?
In that case, both should be banned.
Yes. In this case, both.
Yeah, because the
but they only for that thing, they only banned individuals after investigations.
Huh?
But such things should not happen in football.
So the team has survived, eh?
Yeah, but some individuals have gone.
My goodness.
Anyway, still scoring good news. Diana Chikotesha, our FIFA referee, has been appointed by FIFA to officiate at the 2022 FIFA Under-20 Women's Cup in Costa Rica. I like the progress Diana is making. She'll be another Gladys Lengwe. Yeah, that's good. That's why it's good to have somebody who inspires you. Gladys Lengwe, I think, has opened up the doors, and everyone wants to be like her.
Yeah.
So, congratulations to Diana. She just has to keep the flag high. Then the other issue which I wanted us to look at is of course, Clins Kangwa won the Arsenal Tour Player of the Year. Is the big thing now happening, I think. Clins has just popped up, isn't it?
Yeah. I've been talking about it for a while, that his form.
And you have been watching him, yes. We have been following you.
Yeah.
And as if that's not enough,
been fantastic.
Yeah, he's gone to Serbia. Yeah. He's joined the Red Stars 4 years.
A 4-year deal.
Yeah, that team plays the Champions League.
And he's
they're in the Champions League. They won the league.
Yeah.
It's a big club.
Yeah,
it's a huge club.
That is very good development indeed. And then Silver Stars have suspended our coach again. Our man. For how long will this?
How many times? And he keeps on going back still. So they will leave the suspension and he'll still go back. I think it's a failed project. Sometimes just accept that or they just don't appreciate me as much.
But this is
what it is. Also, I think some people love him, some people don't want him there.
Yeah, I think so.
There's a tug of war. There's a tug of war.
Because that league, so much about performance, huh?
But then, is it fair to treat him like this? Because he has won them trophies. There he has, I think, 2 leagues, and the team has not been doing so badly. Is it fair?
I think they give him targets.
Treat him like that.
I would say this. I want to tabatasha. And that's just our nature. Or run away. And if you look at the same team, he performed with that team some seasons back very well. This season they have not been able to perform very well because of administrative issues. And they have decided to take that route. The only advice I can give to my namesake is let him come back to Zaid. And looking at his CV, he has got a very big CV. In no time we'll be able to find a better team that will be able to respect him and give him all the necessary support. Unlike what those guys are doing in Malawi.
Yeah.
I think it's
also
and so on.
Because it's too much. And I don't understand why
this time
one time they last year for a few hours and then brought him back.
This time last year we're talking the same thing.
Yeah. He's not so stranded.
No.
He has good.
He's one of the best qualified coaches we have in Zambia. Yeah.
And in fact, even in Kosafa, I was checking. He's one of the most qualified coaches. You know. Now, there is one other thing which disappointed me, Pius.
Yes.
APSA, in conjunction with the union for our players, organized a seminar.
Very sad.
You know, because they felt that the players should be equipped in as far as financial literacy is concerned, so that they don't become destitute, as is the case. Most of them, after playing, football is a short career.
Yeah.
So most of them end up being destitute. We don't want to be mentioning names and so on.
Knocking at doors. Business.
APSA brought their professionals so that they could start, talking to the players, so they prepare themselves for life after football. Now, I don't know who to blame here. I don't know who invited who. They expected 300 the players to be in attendance, according to the invitations that they gave out. But unfortunately, only 4 turned up. You can imagine. And APSA had already paid for the venue. He paid for the food. That was very, very unfortunate indeed. They decided to go ahead with 4 people in attendance and a few officials who had, just sneaked in. But I think next time we can do better.
But I think the concept should be should be club based, not personal.
Exactly, that's what I was.
Because one, there's an issue of literacy, communication. In what language was that seminar going to be held? You find that some players don't understand English to certain levels, moment. So I feel sometimes people get uncomfortable. I'm not saying. But this
was an all-paid for thing. Yeah. The clubs, individuals.
So there's an issue of communication here, Pius. Yeah? Some people get uncomfortable by saying,
yeah, Papas, just to adapt to what Elderman Temba said, this was a caption in the daily papers. Only 4 out of 300 invited players showed up for financial literacy training in Kitwe. About 300 footballers on Saturday failed to pitch up for the financial literacy training program at NAPSA in Kitwe. However, the training went ahead with 4 players from MTN Super League side Chambishi, alongside some officials from Forest Rangers and Butcon. Pious.
Not even
Pious. We should be ashamed of ourselves.
Yeah, we should.
Let me just make a breakdown here. Others talking about it, so these guys organize seminars. They are sensitive. I've attended a lot of seminars, and they will look at the kind of people you are bringing forth. So there will be an interpreter there, or somebody to at least be able to make the flow, at least for everyone to be able to feel part and parcel of it. You understand? So what these guys did, we should be ashamed of yourselves, because there's no way even officials from Kitwe failing to attend such kind of a big meeting.
Power Dynamos.
No.
Ghana.
I'm very upset. I'm upset. I'm upset because the same people like Elderman Temba has been talking about about official, how to behave. I think we have got wrong people in administration.
Because Pass, this one just shows you directly that
what motivates these people to come into football administration? It's the money.
It's the money.
That's a problem.
But what is it to understand, Pass, is money has got levels. Some people get confused. So you need to understand how to handle money and where to invest your money. Like you have said, football is a very short career. Bambi, in 5 years, Papua. Bambi can have that lack of 10 years. But they won't say, how do you spend that money? So for APSA, we applaud them for what they did, and I'm happy that they had to go ahead. But that loss was all right today. I think in one or another, they need to find a way to pay back that.
And now, if the union approaches APSA again, will they come? Because they had to pay there.
And it's expensive.
The word to be paid for the food was booked.
And Pass, it just shows you how unsupportive these administrators are. Because if they really care about their players, they sort of made sure their players attended that. It's actually for the good of the club.
But look, we don't know where the breakdown was. We are not out here to blame the clubs and so on. Maybe there could have been some communication breakdown.
If ABSA and the union did it without the consent of the clubs, then that is very sad. Then that result is expected. For me, going forward, if they want a positive result out of such, they should do it with the clubs directly.
Yes.
Then the clubs will make sure.
Because if you approach clubs, then they will know who to. Then the clubs will pick individuals and say, "Can you go?" and empower them.
Yes.
And by the way, we are off season, so
imagine players. What could be the excuse of not attending such?
Yeah, there seems that there was a breakdown.
Should have been a breakdown somewhere.
And the breakdown was big.
Perhaps the request
out of 300.
The best thing would be the request made before the end of the season. But if you think afterwards, it's a bit tricky, but still,
because some players go very far from their bases.
No, and they don't want anything to do with football. You see a coach calling you, you won't even pick up. When you're for a coach. It's not like you get my point. So I think on a personal thing, I feel the organizers didn't do a very good job.
So maybe the last one, I thought we should share with our listeners the latest top 10 most valuable Southern African players. I have an interest in this, because you know who is leading the list. It means our investment is now being rewarded. So, Arthur, the top 10 most valuable Southern African players. We're talking of Southern Africa. Patson Daka, 22 million euros. Enoch Mwepu is number 2, 20 million euros. Then, of course, these are now others. Renedo Mandava, 15 million euros. Tino Kadewere, I think this is Zimbabwean, 80 million. Helda Costa, 8 million. Clinton Mata, 8 million. Maveras Nakamba, it's a well-known name, 7 million. Marsha Munetsi, 4 million. Listen to this one again. Number 9. Fashion Sakala, 4 million. And of course, Jordan Zemura, 3 million. So we're variable players, so why can't we win?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
A bit of
So there was a request which was made last week, and as we go back to the Eden University, we need to name our Eden University team of the season. And on this one, I tasked Odaban, I tasked Danny as well, before we tackle this one. Odaman, I hope I didn't cut you off. You're done?
No, I'm done.
You're
Thank
done.
you.
So, Eden University team of the season, in your view?
Okay, in my view, this is a team I would line up. Number 1, that is a goalkeeper, Brian Walia, Flava Wanderers. I was very happy the progress this young man was making. Number 2, William Kamwanga is a defender, Lumwana Radiance. By the way, that name is not accident. Is the son to
Alan
Coach Alan Kamwanga. This is, the Kamwangas. The other one was with me. Yeah, he's a footballer. About family. 5 of them.
Yeah.
I lived with them in Kampinsa. Yeah, so. Then, of course, the veteran Otieno, we know. Yeah, defender, Napsa Stars. Is a defender. There's a young player whose progress I was watching. Then is a veteran, but the consistency. Another defender, Martin Sikawonga from Mufira Wanderers. Then, Pius, I wish we could have time to watch this boy I'm going to mention now, Christopher Tiki. He has the credentials of very good center forward. Central defender. Yeah, he reminds me, Yeroman. He's very good credentials. He's from Rumana. Maybe that's why Rumana considered very few
goals.
Very few goals. Then, number 6, he came up and challenged the youngsters. Sidney Kalume. Napsa Stars. Ageless.
Still doing well.
Still doing very well. And then there is a very, very, very good winger who carried Flava Wanderers on his shoulders, Manix Nengerwa. He was doubling midfield and attacker. Chris Fulu. I think if Chris is listening, he must be clapping now. This boy did a lot from Flava Wanderers. He's Congolese. Then 8, Richard Zulu, the captain for Rumwana. Oh my, the work rate is a terror, is everywhere. Those who know him, I think, can agree with me. And of course, number 9, Christian Sairi, the top, the one who finished as top scorer
for the
Eden University. And then, if you put that one, then you don't leave Angel. They work as twins. Angel Luamba is also from Changa Rangers.
Yes.
That is the pair which brought in Changa Rangers to the Super League. The way they were attacking, Angel could be per 10 and then Christian 9, and they could go as a pair like Jets. Then this one, I've seen old-fashioned winger Wilson Chisala from Gomes. I know very few people have noticed that chap, but he reminds me those very, very good tricky wingers we used to have, like Numbamwira.
Or even Muserepete.
Yes.
Muserepete.
This boy, Wilson Chisala, those who have interest, they're listening, watch him. You know, if you was a scout, you could do. So this is the team I would do. Line up. Pass.
Okay.
But anyway, it's not authority. I'm not imposing it. It's not authority. But it is what I would do. Because having interacted with the Eden University for a league, I mean, for almost a whole year.
Yes.
Okay.
Danny, give us your team.
Here is my team of the season. And where I need to give a reason or to say something, I'll be able to say that.
Yes.
I'll go with in goal. I'll go with Jaros Tembo from Muza. He had 18 clean sheets in 29 matches. Then defenders, Gift Zulu, former Nkana defender, is now at NAPSA. He was voted the most consistent player of the year during the awards at NAPSA. Then 3, I'll go with Kapim Mamsonda from Rumwana Radiance. Elderman Tembo, you know this chap?
Yes.
Then 4-5, I would go with Experience, Bernard Mapidi from Mighty Mfra Wanderers, and Luca Banda from NAPSA Stars. In the midfield, I think Elderman Ilili Cage, but you got the cage. In the midfield, I've got Richard Zulu from Rumwana Radiance, Manex from Mighty Mfra Wanderers, and Chaniza Zuru from NAPSA Stars.
Good.
Then again, there's a little bit of leakage Kuntansh with Elderman Tembo. Christian Saidi, the top scorer in Eden University from Nchanga Rangers. Then I decided to go with Andrew Piri from Muza FC. This is a guy that had 13 assists with 16 goals.
He had a very good season. Actually.
Then not forgetting the old lion again, Jofsas Kasusu from Rumwana Radiance FC. I'll go with a 4-3-3 formation.
I like that your teams are not exactly the same.
Yeah,
but there is notable players.
About 4 or 5.
Notable, yes.
Notable players. So meaning at least we are seeing something.
Yes. About 4 or 5, you know, and it's not easy.
And that's Eden University.
Coach of the season, Eden University.
Well, I would give it to Bilton. I agreed on that one, Bilton.
Yeah.
I'll try my luck with Eden players. I'm not very good with Eden. I didn't do a lot of.
Go for it, Chris.
Yeah. These people had a bit of TV coverage, so at least they had that personal interaction.
Yes.
So I'll just try. Where I don't remember names.
No problem.
Okay, so for me, the NAPSA goalkeeper, Mkwanya.
Okay.
Yeah. Then number 2 is Thomas Banda from Nchanga Rangers. Number 3 is that Kamwanga Junior.
Okay.
Rumwana Radiance.
All right.
Then 4-5 is Luca Banda, NAPSA, and Matthew Z. Chawala from Nchanga Rangers.
Okay.
Then for number 6, I don't seem to remember the name, but he's from Young Green Buffaloes. Oh no! That's for number 7.
Oh, for number 7.
Yeah, there's like a speed winger for number 6. For number 6, he wears, I think, there's number 10 from Mighty Player Wanderers. I mean, from Rumwana Radiance. Sorry, he's a captain.
Is Richard?
Yeah, that's Richard.
Even Badan picked.
Yeah, that one.
Zulu.
Then number 9 is of course Christian Saidi from Nchanga Rangers. Then number 10 is Andrew Piri from Muza. Then for me, number 11, I'll use Kalala from City of Lusaka.
Oh, okay, Kalala.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coach of the season, Bilton.
The winner.
The winner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Winner takes all.
He's already got a gold medal. There's no compromise.
He did well.
So have you seen free of charge, you have given a leakage to the Super League coaches.
For the best players.
Now we can just
go and be able to look at
just go and look at it.
Damage their dream of playing well in the Premiership.
But then Wachiranda Winosana, you know, I liked what the coaches in the past had passion. Now they are in for a quick buck. That's a problem. You know? You don't do that. Go and pick raw talent, develop. Even the players that we develop will not forget to say, I want to train a bias.
Ottoman coach of the season, Super League.
Super League. Yeah, it was a bit tricky. It's Chimwemwe, of course, not because he won, but I think the way he drew the Red Arrows, it's like he was interacting well with them.
Yeah.
They were following his instructions. Red Arrows, although they were monotonous, you could tell that they were playing to instructions. They were following certain instructions. So I personally...
And I'm in agreement with you, because there are certain matches which I watched of Red Arrows where they were down.
Yes.
You make a substitution, something changes, they win, or they draw. But they were not losing.
Yes.
Some of those key games, they were coming, they're down 2-0, they come back.
3. They come to big match.
So the Red Arrows really, really fought, and it was down to the coaching.
Yeah. No doubt about that.
Danny?
Yeah, I agree with you, gentlemen. Chisi had a chemistry with his players, and also the technical bench. They work as a family. There's no division, and that's really worked for them. Like you have said, when it comes to substitutions, they are always making a very big difference. Unlike certain teams whereby when we make a substitution, then even the momentum of the game will go down. But for Red Arrows, it was a different story. And also, I think it was the attitude. Because yes, as much as we expected them to also win APSA, but you also need to understand that there was a lot of pressure in the Premier League, because you are facing the likes of veteran coaches like Beston Chambeshi. There's also Agri Changi, Power Dynamos. They've got Mwenyad, Dinos Makwaza there. So that pressure, the way Chisi handled the team, I think he did very well and deserves to be the coach of the year.
Arthur?
It's automatically Chisi.
Automatically. Starting with you, Arthur. Zambia away to Ivory Coast. Zambia hosting Comoros. You've seen the team. What are your predictions? Pretty much, we've had continuity, even with Coach Asanovic taking over on a permanent basis. It's more or less continuity, and even the team which has been called has been more or less continuity from the last World Cup qualifiers. And we've got a full house, no major injuries or players that we are seriously missing. How do you fancy our chances, and how do you look at the dynamics going from a friendly match, which is very important, moving into a more important Comoros match?
Pius, for the first time in a long time, you can ask 4 people to give them a piece of paper and tell them to put down their first 11. You find that more than 80% will correspond. We can now believe. We didn't have a team, but now if you're able to just wake up and make a team from your head, Pius, and it's 90% what you were thinking when the coach also calls out his team, then you know you're developing a team. Because football is about consistency. The same players play together for a long time, they form a formidable side. So going forward, Pius, Zambians, even regardless of the result, Ivory Coast, it's not so much about the result, it's about the jailing. We'll see how the combination will pan out. Then we'll be able to tell, okay, come Comoros. Because that's Ivory Coast is a litmus paper. Is what is going to test us going forward, and our performance against Ivory Coast will be able to tell how we'll be able to fare against other. Because so far Ivory Coast is the biggest. It's a big force. So if we're able to sustain pressure, Ivory Coast will be able to play against any side. So going forward, I actually have a lot of confidence, but we'll use the Ivory Coast as a benchmark.
First, Marvelous Tembo from the States is saying you need a little bit of water.
Yeah, Tembo, thank you for following.
It's going.
Yeah,
by the time the show is done.
This is where we need to understand and be realistic people. Yes, we have got names out there, and most of the players that have been caught, they had a very fruitful season at their respective clubs. The question is, are they able to bring the same form that made them to have a fruitful season at their respective club to the national team? And what kind of combination can be able to work for us? Individual players, we have them there. Do we have a team? We are almost getting there, even though there are certain positions that we are not comfortable with. But we need to believe in teamwork. Cote d'Ivoire, they might be missing some key players, the likes of Nicolas Pepe. But the bottom line is, even the players that have been called in, they would want to prove a point. And those players, those entities, are the ones that are actually more dangerous and more deadly, because they've got very little information about them. Big guys definitely watch them week in, week out on TV, etc. But the bottom line is, let's play as a team. If you're going to go into that game as individuals, we won't be able to achieve a result that we would want. Players that can be able to perform are there, but it's about what kind of formation the coach will go with. For me personally, at Pius, if you're going to go with a defensive kind of way of football, we're going to create unnecessary pressure on ourselves, and we might concede terribly. The best way to defend is to attack. Let's go with attack-minded players that can be able to achieve and believe in themselves. Mind you, Cote d'Ivoire would want to revenge. We beat them in 2012, so definitely they are wounded and they have been waiting for this moment, and I think the moment is now. This Friday it will be a different ball game. Then it's how the players will be psyched up regardless of the result that they're going to have on Friday. If players are going to be psyched up very well, then start concentrating on the Comoros game after the Friday game, then the game pass. Pressure will be on Zambia against Comoros. Then fans, definitely they'll go in numbers expecting nothing but a good victory. So good performance in West Africa will motivate a lot of fans to go to Euros and cheer the team. So I expect a positive outing in West Africa.
Thank you very much, Papias. I think my two colleagues have summed it up very well. But what is surprising me is that on paper, Zambia Favorites. I get surprised. I want to share a few statistics with our listeners. Okay, between 1974 and 2019, Zambia and the Ivory Coast have met 10 times. And what is interesting is that Zambia has won 7 times. And there is 1 draw and has only lost twice
to Ivory Coast.
To Ivory Coast. So on paper, if you forget about everything else, you would say Zambia Favorites. But wait, it doesn't work like that. People look at the teams physically which are there. So back in I'll be very quick. Back in 1974, Africa Cup of Nations, it was Zambia 1, Ivory Coast 0. 22nd November 1985, Zambia 2, Ivory Coast 0. 20th January 1992, Ivory Coast 1, Zambia 0. That was one of the games that Zambia lost. 31st March 1994, it was Africa Cup of Nations, Ivory Coast 0, Zambia 1. 22nd February 2009, it was Africa Cup of Nations, Ivory Coast 0, Zambia 3. 12th February 2012, the famous AFCON. It was Zambia 8, Ivory Coast 7. via penalties. 25th October 2014, international friendly. Zambia 1, Ivory Coast 1. That is one of the draws I was talking about. 18th January 2018, it was Africa Cup of Nations. Ivory Coast 0, Zambia 2. Now, perhaps this is the one which we should be worried about, because the last time the two met was on the 19th June 2019. It was a friendly. It was Ivory Coast 4, Zambia 1. Maybe the people be saying the last one.
Dynamics.
So I don't know who wants to revenge here, because after 2012, Ivory Coast revenged by beating us 4-1. Okay, it was a friendly, but obviously they were happy. They would say we beat them, isn't it? Because 2019 was way after 2012. So I wouldn't say that they want to revenge, because they've already done that. They humiliated us in a friendly. Ivory Coast 4, Zambia 1. So let's just psych ourselves to say out of the 10 games we have beaten is more. Yeah, but like my colleague said, we need to balance the team. We have no much confidence in between the sticks because of lack of consistency. And obviously our defense has been leaking goals. We've been chopping and changing that department. We have good strikers and midfielders. We have our boys now, like Danny said, who have won accolades in the last season. They have confidence. The boys, we are in a new government, so they want to prove. There's political will. The money has been released. But, like I said when we started the program, let them not put themselves under so much strain and pressure on this one. Ivory Coast have already qualified. The new coach, by the way, will be looking at those players for the first time. So there are a few permutations that you put here and there. So I think we should reserve a bit of energy for tricky Comoros on 7th. That is my taking. Even the coaches should be aware of that, because if we drain ourselves, remember we're traveling, we have been disadvantaged. After the game, we have to quickly come into Lusaka and camp. There won't be enough recovery time. We have Mwepu, who's just come from an injury. I don't know how the coaches may utilize him. If I were a coach, I would just say, computer, wait, let someone else. Because even the last game that he played, EPL, they used him for only 10 minutes. And he makes a big difference in competitive games. Let's face it. We play without Mwepu, we are a different national team altogether. If you watch national team, you agree with me. So in my view, and I'm just saying it is me, we should not be saying let's beat Ivory Coast at all costs. We know those points are going nowhere. Caf has explained. Those are friendly games. So players like Mwepu, who are just coming from an injury, more especially for Enoch, I would say, come on, stay here. Use someone else so that Mwepu starts
in other words, you're saying we can afford to experiment in that game?
Not experimenting. If you replace only one player, you're not experimenting per se. We have explained that we shall need full-time Mwepu in a competitive game against Comoros. We shall need him 90 minutes. Okay, he's just coming from an injury. His club used him for 10 minutes only. And that injury it was serious. He didn't play for almost 2 months. So if we aggravate it, and mark my word, Ivory Coast players are huge and very physical. The only way, they don't have skill. They will use their physique to kick you out of the ball. So if I was a head of this Zambian technical bench, I would use my guns like Mwepu very, very carefully. Because that's a weapon we have. Against Mauritania, we saw what he did. We beat them away. He scored and created. He can create anything out of something. You know? If you have Enoch and you have Fashion and you have Patson, you know they won't be starved. We missed Enoch and Daka was a passenger. The Tunisians humiliated us. You know, Patson touched the ball about 2-3 times. There was no way he could have been coming down to pick the balls. That was not a game plan for the coach. So that's my take.
Give us your preferred starting 11.
Preferred starting 11. Sawata in goal. Luambo Msonda number 2, and then Mwape number 3. Then 4 and 5 Musonda and Tandi, and then 7 I would go for Lamek Banda, and then 8 definitely on that position I would bring in someone else, because that's where Mwepu is supposed to play. I would bring Chirufya, okay, 9 Patson Daka, and then 10 Cleans Kangwa, 11 Fashion Sakala. With this team, we are good to go. Do battle Mother Zambia. Where?
Danny, your preferred starting 11.
Yeah, I'll go with Toaster, Lubamba Msonda, Roderick Kawe, 4-5 Tandy Frank. We don't have a natural midfielder, and definitely offensive wise, I'll go with Emmanuel Banda as 6 for me. 7, because of the experience, exposure, and their understanding with the other colleagues, I'll go with Edward Tiger Chilufya. 8, definitely Mwepu, we'll go with that. And 9, Patson. 10, Kinsley. 11, Fashion.
Other?
Toaster, Frank, Tandy, Roderick, Lubambo. Then for number 7, I'm still a bit blank. But for 11, we'll have Fashion and Pamuluka Cleans na Patson. For me, the number 7, I think, is going to surprise all of us. So I think that one is a bit of a tricky position for now. Unless we can find a natural defender to take in the Luambo, come into number 7, then even our attack will be enhanced. But who can we risk number 2? That's where the question is. For me, I'd rather have Luambo number 7 so that we can have a number 2, probably a natural defender, but we don't have that, sadly.
Yeah.
So, okay. So that position is a bit of a huge combo.
For me, I'd have Toaster in goal, and Kutu. I'd have Chepeshi. 3, Roderick Kawe, Frankie, and Tandy as the defensive pair. I would line up a 3-man midfield of Emmanuel Banda, Luvambo Msonda, and Enoch Mwepu, and 3-prone attack of Fashion Sakala, Patson Daka, and Klings Kangwa. That would be my preference. But I can guarantee you, from whatever you have mentioned, our teams are similar except 1 or 2 places.
Just 2.
But from what you have mentioned, the coach will be 80% what we've mentioned. And like you are saying, now we look like we are heading somewhere.
Yeah.
We've got a core. Because what we needed was a backbone.
Yeah.
We after 2012, we lost our backbone. We didn't know who were the core members of the team. Because you always need that core where you can introduce 1 or 2 to be with them, but you need that backbone. And we had that for a long time with the same guys.
Yeah.
And they delivered in the end. So hopefully these guys, it's their time now.
And the beauty about them is that the age group is brilliant. The age group is very good. They've got another 5 to 10 years to play top flight
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think now we can open up the phone lines, and people, if anyone listening or watching there, if you want to send your preferred lineups, you can do that via text line 0965 0000877 or via Facebook. We are as we are live on Facebook. And just before I open the phone lines, also, Danny, I forgot to tell you, I was at Latat Cafe. Latat Cafe, of course, have been looking after us for just about a year, providing us with snacks. They have the best burgers, wraps, chicken and chips in town, sausage and chips, pies, samosas, platters for all occasions, cakes for all occasions, and they do all kinds of functions, corporate functions, weddings, birthday parties, kitchen parties, you name it. Sweet things, salty things, whether it's sweet things like ice cream, donuts, cupcakes, cake slices, you can get that from Latat, Sweeting Malala. Or if you like the salty things, there's the chicken pies, there's sausage rolls as well. So a big shout out to Sheridan, the team, Richard and Zila Njovu, and thank you Latat, Martina and the team. Okay, now we open up the phone lines with my bad
once
voice.
more part before we open the phone lines. It has been confirmed that Mr. Ivar Lengwe, I think he's registrar at first, has said clubs actually confirmed participation.
Yeah.
So this whip should go to clubs. They should be serious. They should go to clubs and their players. We have received confirmation.
Clubs confirmed participation that they will come.
Even they should have been honest if they were not ready. If they were not ready, they should have been honest by turning down the invitation.
Send apologies. Okay, thank you. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller.
Hello, Papa Mulishani.
Wait a Mulishani.
We know Muderanda na Pamdi Joka Posa.
Please go ahead, boss.
Awe team Bilisebu no kukwata fe chichetekero bonso ko awdaman tepunde fine barandire no tukuchiba mubika ko pa bench so that ile tiana ba komorosi basamwambi.
Yeah.
Bachiti mu Yesu konka na fenefo ili awe isebu ino atotera sa Dynamo supporter.
Thank you, boss.
Thank you, Akapos.
0212222877 0965 Good evening, caller.
Mabombe mkwae.
Yeah, mkwae.
You are Kennedy Mastekava, Solwezi.
Kennedy from Solwezi, please go ahead.
Mkwae, awe itimu de na tumfwa, itimu de na ibisi wino, chikuru kulia defense kulia chifire baka ku defense kulia, kufumia pofi omwenso, Ivory Coast kutitwa omandawe. Defense fe chifire, defense kulia na mumidi mulia, especially fe defense, chifire babombela kunuma ba coach kulia defense. Ero lubambo musonda na mwanapati lubambo musonda taringilo kutea tu at least dimbi 7 noti mutu.
Okay.
Wabombe wino mukwae.
Thank you. Good evening, caller.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
I'm speaking to Neas from Lusaka.
Please go ahead, boss.
They
21 hours.
Zambia Favorites.
21 hours.
21 hours, yeah. Kuranda kupava nyamata ko trefa kwa magozi twalite mabora. netoti ngavaingira muchivanza vari pona irasi yave nadhaka trefu amagozi uku trefu kuwina
100%. 0212222877. Good evening, caller.
Hello, Papa.
Shani ba famous.
Bueno.
Mwashali la lelo.
Yo, ya divi. Bapasi. Bazambia ngabatyase as a teamwork. Nga tabare base office. Ivory Coast State to intend. Number I think that it pass like fashion sakara. Kaina ni mfama guys barenje bati kurusako bare mu ipshaki. Fashion insho avera se office choro asukaki. Efyo naba. Number inawa ngatakuri se office like fashion sakara na person daka. Ero lubambo mtonda na era kula bati ale pikani ndale fasti abaliko ala kokoro okuliriza bwangu bora.
Yeah.
So nombanga baleti akaira iri 1-2-1-2. Nishi tukabangala pope ba Ivory Coast but team wetirere ningunkwa bwino na itatu bafuri barabene ntontonkanya nayi no bwetire. Yetire tire bade mware muno fe yale bakunu moko. Bare baba itaba bena Prince Mumbe bali paja. Ero futbasa sangona Brian Mwira mulefe abatunisha. Brian Mwira na babena chepe mwatera ndana Rodrigue. So mware fula ama suspect na bena kawaso chongo. Nombe itimu inenga ninjikala so nde itamba noko itamba bachitaira amba. So adife bwino coach uyu. Kuno mukara twakwata ko mukara diba pasi nomba. Twakwata ko mutungu mwizinga. Kuri bangola bararuisha muliko nango abasungu babiri. Nomba na ifati twakwata ko buga. Na tote.
Okay. Twakwata ko buga. 02122228770965000877. Good evening, caller.
Hello, mwawomberi mkwai.
Mkwai.
Mkwai, ni wa Chinyama Sorezi.
Please go ahead,
Shani Chinyama.
Changa Rangers and Zambia.
Changa Rangers and Zambia.
Yellow and blue, man.
Awe inokumuna kwande fonde mwana. Bora tukawina win. Because wakochi abaicho betire. Niba yabe ko bati twashinda mwembafu. So the line up yeka si. Kikawa bwino because abaicho bambi bari hata bari mo bari aba.
Hello, Bachinyama.
Oh, we have lost him.
We have lost him. Good evening, caller. Hello, good evening, caller.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
I'm speaking to Nyambe from Solwezi.
Nyambe from Solwezi. Please go ahead.
Yes, please. I think looking at the team which we have, which the coach has called upon, I think for me, I think I've never been relaxed like the way I'm feeling. Like maybe I don't know why, because I have very much confidence with the team which has been selected, and looking at the age of the team, and probably the zeal which look like they may have that zeal of saying we need to qualify because we have never been to. I think it's been long the last time we were to the AFCONs. So looking at the team itself and looking at what the coach has been saying all along, I think the coach has been saying, no, we want to prove something. Because even him, he wants to prove something. That job is not like he was just looking for a job, but he will try to perform very well.
Yeah.
So for Ivory Coast, I just wanted a clarification there. Does it mean if we win Ivory Coast, those 3 points won't be counted or what?
No.
Because according to the draw, they were saying the top two, that is including Ivory Coast, will qualify. Yes. If Zambia becomes number 2, they will qualify. Now, does it mean the game we are playing again is Ivory Coast? If we beat Ivory Coast 3, we beat Ivory Coast 1-0. Those 3 points won't be counted. They only will count the points we get from Comoros Islands and Lesotho, yes. And Lesotho or what? Yes. If that's the case, then we need to play a B so that we concentrate with the others. Ivory Coast, we won't get anything from there. Otherwise, then we need to concentrate with it. So I need the wise men that side to give us the correct, whether this game is just for formality, or it's not, we are not supposed to concentrate with it. Even if we get 10-0, it won't count anything. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. I'll allow you to answer. Let me just get a few more calls. Good evening, caller.
Hello.
Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
Good evening. This is Coach Frank.
Coach Frank.
Your own product.
Please go ahead.
I hope Mr. Oderman is listening.
Very much, Frank. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. But I just want to say that there's a fairly technical, from Rechta, we are really appreciating, and we always follow what you about football. But not for fear, none of issues here. I know maybe a year or two. Over Zambia, Bola Bakalati, Ivory Coast here. Whichever result that is going to come out there, we must just encourage the boys to keep it up. I know in a game significance equate militimas paper kumona ushedi timu tuambo kupanga. Tuambo kuchukupanga wino na tuambo kuchashana will be able to identify some few mistakes that are going to be done, because Apollo tuamba kumonika kwa tuambo kupanga konombe chakosa, because we'll be changing players from time to time. So in that game, it's a big game. It's a big game to us, because it's going to make sure that to identify our players which next game number to rotation. So whichever result that are going to come out there, either we draw, we win, or we lose, we must just encourage the boys to come and do it as we play a game or to cut up home, which has got a very much significance. And number two, the Fokulanda Pama pitches, by all the Mandian similar and the poor infrastructure concerning Nama pitches. Concept of places like plots, like, let me just speak in my vernacular language. Place po place moya kuba tibakula ponangu chiwanza kwa wafia maya ndana maba number when it comes to youth this to atwala bakushashani yon sama places for mule pela nangoyo bale pela ma plots nangushani menshi le mona pati bavika po chiwanza. I've been traveling muma places omo bale pela ma places. It's spending me a lot, because youth football nishtola ichitashani upbringing. There must be pitches there. Apo mwapela mwavula paka 60 by 100. Mwavika po akabanza. Mwapela maplot 60 by 100. Mwavika po echibanza. So if there are ni government or ma local authorities to make sure that kwanza kuma places yuko bali pela maplot and stuff, you must make sure ama pitches are there for young guys to be playing football, because grassroots football tomba tuli abaiche. But if there are no pitches, abaiche kula kolwa fiugwalo. I would have talked a lot about that, but I know you've been talking about that several times, and I'm sure the local authorities are listening. Then number three, Johnson Island, the time I used to go on this program, I'm a division I know. Tulenda mwana tu akwata Muhammad Cup, but akwata Muhammad Cup games, I'm a trophies. A bora yala time club, because we'll be able to identify our teams there. For example, if we pick the best Division 2 teams in our country, Bale Kumana Balelula indi 700,000, Balelula 500,000. The last year, the best 10 teams from all over. Bakumana Batea, Basatela, maybe Mugopa Belt, Batela, maybe Kumusaka Batela, maybe where there are nice pitches, maybe Michingolo, Chilawumbo, wherever. We will be able to identify my players on the other system. These are actually the few points that I wanted to highlight. Okay. But I really appreciate for the good program. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. 0212222877. Good evening, caller.
Hello again.
Good evening, caller.
Mwawomben.
Yeah, I'm quiet.
Bachopa.
Bachopa.
Kundek.
Kundek. Please go ahead, Bachopa.
Okay. Nataka kuona nakupali Wazambia timu yise wino. So, watu bakonfo kunanganya kuko safi. Ebu tunataka kuanyifia kuna bali wazesko na kwa kama transfers yo bashitire kofi mwanjo.
Okay.
Then mpoje kuna badani pale ba Madrid ni ala. Bora tete bora ma goals.
Yebo.
Okay. Good evening, caller.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, this is about
Yes.
21
hours.
21 hours.
Okay. Comoros, what time?
Comoros, they had said 15 and also 18. So we have to confirm from our colleagues who have bought tickets in Lusaka.
18.
Yeah.
18, eh?
18?
Yeah. Because at some point they had said 15.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good evening, caller. Yes, who am I speaking? I'm quiet.
Kafula calling from Lusaka.
Kafula, please go ahead. Kafula.
Yes. Papa, I team in the Monati. Welcome, Leranda.
Hello. Rakafula. Hello.
I'm a next meeting in the Papa.
The line is very bad, Wakafula. The line is bad. Let's go. Good evening, caller. Mkwai.
Ana totera sana pakunja sukari rondesha sana. Okamo. Nivamwila abaku Ivory.
Please go ahead.
Mkwai. Na totera sana kwena ndefo ya kulanda kupafyo muhomba kwena ala munatika mulaini nga kuba temwa polo kuchirobo waje. Mkwai. Itadamba wanu defo ya vimukonka bwino kulondola bwino bona sana mukalete kuna bakamanga omwene mu office space tukabepushi kwa mepusho pa milimo ya ubale ombe tatulesekiramo. Number 2 Vazesco mwabeba kukwena na ba forest rangers bakwate koifibanja shuo na bachambeshi byaba mukomboni bali kwata ground kuchiraba kwate ndalama Vazesco na bakwata koifibanja kuti tule umfako kuna cha mchana tukwata koifibanja kuti twakwa ko ku kwena na tutela pa mimoyo mlevo pa natasha sana babombe huyu
Toto to the boss. Okay, let me take one more call. And we can continue deliberating. Good evening, caller.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, mukamba na Chimwemwe ku Kasupe ni kurusaka huko.
Please go ahead.
But mumagwira nchito gentlemen bapa nchito za mele machita.
Zikomo.
Mumatifaka che mulaini yapo ino maningi. Eronga tifuno kamba pa ma games amene yabwera. I think tingashike concentrate maningi pali Comoros. Ero bapa. Ushe aba makoches batu. Bamankala kuna time yomvera ku radio munga yiso.
Wena mamvera.
Definitely.
Amafunika bakazimvera because bamene mumakamba okay muli na points amene yanga batandize futhi maningi. Because okay sometimes che ni kubauza che bagazikhala kuna time yomvera because akaka radio akati makamvera che maningi che.
Okay.
So my advice yanu even my points yanu sema funika che ati yakambiwa then yaenda che so che because from there chizamba ku missing amanje ba points ya kulia kuru.
Yeah.
So at least all my coaches bakazimvera ko che sometimes ba even all ma venangu che ba ma teams bawo at least bakazimvera ko che ngala msebeze bwino.
Thank you. All right. So
koma vamamvera vachoka mukutuma va coach Frank vanamba kale kumvera ni vambiri vamamvera so but tamvera tizambo vauza.
So there was a question which was asked which you needed to respond.
It was about the points.
Yes.
I think we have belabored on this one.
But for the sake of
the points which teams will be getting from Cote d'Ivoire will not affect the standing because those will be treated as like friendly matches, if you like. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's why we kept insisting that we must not drop points against Lesotho, against Comoros, more especially Comoros. To me, it's a team which is scaring me. If there's a team which is giving me sleepless nights, it's Comoros. Yeah. Because they are not the same Comoros we used to beat 4-5-0. We had Coach Masi talking about us beating Comoros. It was those days. They have now a very, very different team. Most of them are not in Comoros. Only 2 players. They have only 2 regulars from the island itself.
Yeah.
All of them are imports.
All right, so we head to AFCON qualifiers, and we've got some major games coming up in the next few days. Only that we're going to be missing Zimbabwe, we're going to be missing Kenya. So apart from the Zambia group, where 3 teams be fighting for 1 slot, their dynamic is different, where they'll have
only one being kicked out.
2 teams, yes, only one being kicked out. Is our qualification is more difficult, isn't it?
No doubt.
Just say our qualification is not fair. It's a better way. Yeah. Because football is about fairness. Why should others have an advantage over the other? It's not like we papa but we go personal, but there's no fairness in such a decision. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did they balance up with any group people? Wafanya kwa group mwensu ya Zambia batoro kwa muntu mukule kanshi.
To answer Arthur, last time Cameroon hosted the qualifiers, they did not take part in the in the competitions, and they complained. They said the team was inactive. So now that's how CAF gave a resolution now that when a team is hosting, to keep it active, they will be participating in qualifiers despite them already having a slot.
Yeah, but
so the last time that's what they did. Cameroon did not. They were just waiting. Now football is about practical. Your friends are playing. But it's like they are being disadvantaged also.
It's better they're disadvantaged than you disadvantage people at the point of qualification. They can always arrange other friendlies and still be in shape. There are teams there are countries who have hosted and have won the tournament. So that's not an excuse, as per se. You get my point? So for me, trust me, I'm very disappointed with the way CAF has handled this qualification.
Do you prefer, what about like other
Because on average, 70% of the teams that host win the AFCON.
Yeah.
So that's what
I'm aligned with Arthur on this one. I prefer the host nation just finds other friendlies and not disturb the qualification process. What do you think?
Yeah, it worked well in the past, but the hosting teams kept complaining. So that's why they had to reconsider. Remember, that was in a board now. Where they get the views from the rest of the team. That's when they changed. Maybe we learn from you, Pius, what happens Euros. Qualifiers.
Euro qualifiers, the host doesn't. The host waits and just plays friendly. And same thing with World Cup.
Maybe we should revert to that. I don't know what Wadani thinks.
If you look at the past, they still win. Even if the host still wins.
That is one major point.
It's a very critical point, Pius.
That host countries, they usually have the biggest advantage.
But again, Pius, as much as we would want things to be done in a certain way, you need to understand that before the decision was made, stakeholders were involved.
They sat down.
All right? They looked at all angles, and they agreed. That's why it's very, very, very important. Going forward, let's have right people in those positions. As long as I've got people who just want to eat money, you expect such kind of decisions week in, week out. Mind you, the likes of Zimbabwe, Kenya won't be part and parcel of their respective groups. Mm-hmm. So meaning, those groups, they have remained 3 teams. Mm-hmm. All right? only 2 will qualify. So, Pius, going forward, let's ensure that we have right-minded people in those respective positions. As long as we've got wrong people, expect more of such, especially from CAF.
Okay, I want to agree with you, Arthur. It worked in the past.
Yeah,
I don't know
they
why
shouldn't have disturbed it.
They should not have disturbed it, because now this calculator this is a friendly
three teams.
No, this is, I mean,
past 3 teams vying for 2 positions and 3 teams vying for 1 position. That's unfair already.
Yeah, because even the cases of Kenya and Zimbabwe, they probably should have handled them much earlier, so that you can substitute those slots with other teams.
Correct.
So that you give other teams in Africa a chance as well. But they allowed them to be in the draw, and once the draw has taken place, you can't reverse. You know, so that is
the assumption that they were going to comply with FIFA, requirements and so on.
Yeah. On one aspect, okay, in Africa, government interference is rife because government is the biggest stakeholder. It's the biggest loser, so to speak. If there's mismanagement, for example, in an FA, but government is the one who are giving a bulk of the sponsorship, let's say, for the national team. Isn't it in a way not fair that government has no say, even if people are doing wrong things?
Well, not really. I think if you look at FIFA, the way FIFA works, they work with governments. Okay? At some point, they interface with the governments. What FIFA doesn't want is the government to start running football by way of appointing individuals.
Yeah.
Because that's where the problem has been. That's where the problem has been. Because of the power that politicians have.
What do you
They
do
want
when
to
people
also
are doing
control
wrong things?
football. You get a point. It's not because maybe those who are there have misused money and so on. Because if an administrator has been is being punished by government for misusing money, FIFA supports that. We can give so many examples. If they are trying to correct misappropriation, there are so many who have been punished and FIFA has supported. But where the problem is, government wants to go further and bring their own
impose. That's where the problem is.
That's where the problem is.
You can punish people who have stolen. Yes, there's nothing wrong with that, and governments can easily do that.
Yes,
there's nothing wrong with that.
And we have 3-4 examples.
Governments wants to now instill, rather impose,
because of being in power. African.
Even the issue of Zimbabwe.
But this
money
doesn't
was
happen.
appropriated by the
Yes.
Zimbabwean.
So can I be frank to say that if government had such powers, the Kamanga administration would have probably been long gone. It would have been made by the previous government. They would have said you haven't qualified for Africa Cup 3 years.
So you're out.
Out.
Listen, but what FIFA does is it places that power in the councillors, the ones who have been mandated to run football. Have you seen? Instead of the politicians.
Yeah, so, just to add up to what Edman Temba said, FIFA respects the constitution of football. So everything that maybe external people or external organization want to do, they have to respect the constitution. So those people, they are appointed by councillors through votes. All right. So if you want to push them away, you have to wait for the next election year or after their tenure, then you vote them out. As simple as that. But the problem that we have in Africa is if I don't get along with Elderman Tembo, I'm a politician, then he's an administrator, then automatically becomes my enemy.
Yeah.
which is very childish.
Petty jealous.
Very, very childish. So the best that we can do as Africans is let's learn to respect the constitution. Right? Ichalo chawata constitution yaiko. Na bola wata constitution. So let's respect these two things.
You know, like what Dan is saying, the politicians are full of ego. If the one heading an FA football association, they don't want to be seen to be competing with him. They want to subdue him, to say there's a government. Have you seen?
That's why you see what FIFA has done. There's no government which is bigger than football.
You see?
Never.
And the other question you must ask, Pius, why doesn't it happen in Europe? We have more powerful presidents there.
That I was
then we have Biden.
They respect the constitution.
They know
of
that if with the football, that's not our
no fly
business.
Football is respected by us.
Football
is big.
This argument of saying government puts in a lot of money is neither here and there, because that's the duty of government. And they're supposed to provide resources. It's an obligation. They're not favoring. That's taxpayers' money. That's taxpayers' money. And every government has an obligation to support football.
That's just the way it is.
Yes.
Years on end.
Okay.
That's your responsibility.
Then pass. Away from that, pass. Just a quick one. Pass. Games that have been played regarding AFCON. Angola beaten Central Africa 2-1. Libya, they have also beaten Botswana 1-0. And right now we have played about 34 minutes played right now. It's Ghana versus Madagascar, and it's still 0-0.
I was looking at that one. Both Ayu brothers have started for that one.
Yeah.
For Ghana.
Then for those that love football out there, Argentina is leading 1-0 against Italy, and it's just about to get to halftime.
Good. And Ukraine, it's almost halftime. Ukraine is leading 1-0 in Scotland.
Despite the war.
Yeah. Okay. So going back to football issues out of AFCON and the Africa Cup. I know we'll have some fantastic football to watch over this weekend because like some of the fixtures we can look forward to. Tomorrow we've got Mozambique, Rwanda, Tunisia versus Equatorial Guinea. That's going to be a good one to watch. Friday, Comoros versus Lesotho, 15 hours. I hope we'll be able to watch this one.
We just expand means and ways to watch that game.
Before our game.
It will be
15 hours.
How I wish it was. It will be a draw.
I need to watch that game. Wherever I'll be, I need to watch that game.
Togo versus Swatini, Burkina Faso versus Cape Verde, and then in the evening, Cote d'Ivoire, Zambia. Some of the big games on Saturday. You can watch Cameroon versus. I almost said Cameroon, Kenya. Kenya is not there. We can watch Congo DR versus Gabon, Algeria versus Uganda, Senegal versus Benin. Sunday, some of them to look out for: Malawi versus Ethiopia, Egypt versus Guinea. Next week, Thursday, Zimbabwe versus Liberia, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Guinea-Bissau versus Mauritius, Morocco, South Africa. So quite a number of games coming up to look forward to the next few days continuously. Now we can go to the Caf Champions League. Danny, your thoughts? What a game.
Hey, it was fire.
Al Ali 0 and Wydad Casablanca 2.
Bias. Bookmakers, we all got our predictions wrong. We thought Al Ali would be able to hammer Wydad Casablanca. Otherwise, it turned out to be the different story. Bias took off the support. And mind you, the laser that we spoke about when Senegal played Egypt, Egyptians wanted to make a fuse out of that. If you watch that game, there were plenty in the stadium. Talk of the massive supporters that turned out into that stadium. Bias, there's a very big gap between us and them.
Yeah.
If we
and the numbers is money. I'm not done. That's
absolutely.
Money.
If we that should support
into money.
Yeah. You know
how wealthy those guys are.
What we know, if we as supporters, it's an insane
cash.
Yeah. Look at I would have we watched that. Huh?
Yes,
before the game, those guys were drumming up support. But before the game, you know, and in no time, what that because of the support.
Yes,
they just had that belief in themselves. They played out their lungs out. Look at the first goal. It was one of the best goals, Pius. One of the best goals.
Oh my!
And I knew it
that
these guys definitely they deserve to be the winners.
Can't lose with such a goal.
Hali tried to come back, but they could not be able to sustain and be able to bounce back. The support played a very critical role, Pius. So in terms of the gap between us and them, the gap is huge, and those supporters, they all paid up. If yo no, those guys paid. Replica jersey, I'm an OG. Scarves OG. That's where money comes from, Pius.
Yeah.
And even just
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Absolutely. Even just the people that send out. It's good for advert for TV.
Jerseys. You know, that is serious merchandising.
Yes.
And that is what we lack in Zambia. You know, yes, some local teams sell jerseys, but not to the level which they should. They don't do the marketing
can you imagine
to the level of what we saw in that stadium.
60,000 people wearing replica.
We lack passion, and you know
it's not easy.
There's a lot to learn from our colleagues, like Danny said. We need passion, and at no time did I see the supporters jeering their team.
No,
I'm very, very worried. We have a very tricky encounter at Hero Stadium. When results don't go our side, they'll start uprooting his stools and insulting the national team. That's why I was of the view that perhaps they bring the game to Levy, where although they have no passion, but they at least the supporters are a bit friendly. Because out there in Lusaka, Pius, if we don't beat Comoros, they will turn against the team. At one time, they had to use the canopy to run away when we lost to Zimbabwe. That's not good. It's complete opposite of what happens. Like Danny said, people support their teams. But that final was interesting. Maybe they should come back to what they have planned for two, home and away, because the arbitration of sports had to come in, to make a ruling.
Yes.
Yeah, because obviously it favored with that. Because they gave how did they give them with the two games to go?
But
if they had given them before they even started the game number one, I would have no quarrel.
Actually, because it was the final was supposed to be in Senegal.
Yes.
And Senegal withdrew.
Yes.
But the people making those decisions at CAF, they could have seen that the teams left in the tournament, Egyptian teams, is you look at
I should have avoided those
from Angola.
Yeah.
There was Setif from Algeria. There was Egypt from Ali from Egypt. They could have avoided putting the final in one of those countries, because one of those teams was going to be in the finals. They could have said, can we host it at Levi Mwanawas? Can we host it at Soccer City in South Africa? Can we host it somewhere else to a country which is not participating in the latter stages? Because the Egyptians didn't take it well, and even
because the 12th supporter made a very big difference.
Yes,
it
really worked. Those people supported until the last minute.
Yes. And I tend to have a bone to chew with CAF bias. If you look at the way Champions League football is done in Europe, by the time the draws will be made, blah blah blah, they will be able to know where the final will be held. The final will be announced just there and then. Like the one that Madrid just won in Paris. Everyone knew that the final would be in Paris. You know what I mean? Everyone knew. So even CAF, I think they need to take that direction. Once we get into the group stages of the Champions League, people should know which destination. Is it Lusaka Hero Stadium? Whether the Zambian team is there in the finals or not. They need to know. And like what happened, because Ohali, they've got every reason to complain. They've got every reason to complain because they knew that the last 4 teams are ETC. So they were supposed to take that final to a neutral venue so that at this fair play is there. But CAF, just like always, they are very reactive. They need to be very proactive.
When Senegal suddenly withdrew, and then the teams which applied, apparently it was Morocco which found themselves there. But like you said, I think, don't they punish those who withdraw? Because CAF had tried to do their bit by announcing in advance, isn't it?
Yes.
But all of a sudden, you know, we are Africans. They withdrew and caught CAF, unawares. And they had to ask for a quick...
CAF should have done their homework better.
They should have done better.
There are other countries who have got good stadiums.
But they didn't apply because they had to bid now.
They still talk to them.
But
unless they had to do head hunting or something, because they invited countries to apply. That's how they arrived at. That's why they even won that case for arbitration of sports, because CAF said when this one withdrew, we invited interested parties, and these are the ones who applied, and based on these applications.
Do we have the capacity in Zambia to host such a final?
And remember, it was short notice. They had now to look at capacity. You know, because it was short notice. Now the issues of now capacity.
After you say we've got the capacity,
we have the 2 stadiums
at short notice.
If you can host an international game pass, it's about hotels and infrastructure. We have the infrastructure and we have the hotels. So what more do you need?
The infrastructure, which is already in a mess.
We can handle.
Infrastructure is already in a mess.
It's about capacity.
I was reading up on.
You failed to maintain it.
I was reading up on Wydad Casablanca. Their fan base is estimated to be in millions of fans. So if they come on 10 jumbo jets into Lusaka, do we have the capacity
to the hotels
hold those fans?
You see, they come like bats.
You have fans from
they come like bats at Kasaka
Forest. It was finished. People start renting out houses.
And Papayas, I'm happy you have raised that one. Even the stadium, you know, because you invite such a final, you need a stadium which is over 70,000.
With a good playing surface.
Very good playing surface. Ours don't reach those stadiums. You can imagine, I know we are going to talk about it. If Liverpool can complain about the turf of a stadium in France. You can imagine.
What more if
where they played the
final against Real Madrid.
They complained, but you can imagine those are high standards. Now your heroes, which is not even water,
which is pathetic actually, in a very pathetic state.
So I think that's why perhaps they had to settle for. They had to look at short notice which one will meet all these criteria.
And it benefited the Moroccans.
Yeah.
Yes,
in the end.
But
overall pass, they deserved to win. They were side.
They were more direct.
They were ready.
They were underrated. They had belief. They were more direct. They didn't play flowery football. No.
And that really worked for them.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Moving on.
But before we go, Ulpizzo keep his job because those are very, very, very passionate.
Actually,
I could see his president was not happy in this.
No, his president was upset.
Okay.
Pizzo has delivered 2 Champions Leagues in a row.
Yeah.
But
and he has taken the team to
but unfortunately the standard which our Ali go by is I would not be shocked if they fire him.
Yeah.
But I mean 2 years in a row you win it third year in the final, I think they might give him another chance.
They should be considerate. And they don't play badly. It was silly mistakes, eh?
Yeah.
It's just silly mistakes.
Especially the second
goal. How do you concede that goal at that level?
Yeah. Ball watching. You know. As we move on, last weekend I watched the final of the Women's UEFA Champions League.
Oh, I missed that one.
Olympique Lyonnais 3, Barcelona 1. And gentlemen, the way these women play, fantastic goals. They play like there's no difference between men and women.
Yeah.
Fantastic football. What a game this was. If you get a chance to watch it, you should watch it. And Barcelona were the favorites. They came into this tournament basically blowing everybody out of the way. Barcelona won the league in La Liga, winning every game, 30 out of 30 games, home and away. Even Danny's Real Madrid blown home and away. And but Olympique Lyonnais has also just this last weekend won the league in France, but they managed to beat Barcelona. I think also
have been winning every game.
Silly mistakes from Barcelona cost them as well in this one.
They were too comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, women's football has evolved now.
It's evolved. It's become very interesting.
Very, very interesting.
Liverpool versus Real Madrid. Arthur, your view, what happened in this game?
Football is extremely dynamic, Pius. If you don't take your chances, you don't expect to win. And there's an element of luck as well in football. Because if you saw the shot Yakwa Mane, normally if you rebound, you don't goalkeeper Munuma yaingira. But for some reason that didn't happen. So there was a lot of luck as well, apart from Madrid being the better side on the day. But I think no luck for our ball, and the goalkeeper was on point. Couture was just outstanding. I think for me, he's a tournament. He was a final. The final was just about the goalkeeper, because certain chances that he actually, if we are finished, it's unbelievable. So for me, the man of the match, the man of the tournament, will give it to Couture.
And the Liverpool goal, I mean the goal they conceded, could they have done better? No,
there was a lot of pace on that ball. You know the mistake that Liverpool did. They forgot that guy is better than even this guy, same guy who scored. That guy is just being overshadowed. He's a better player.
But
that Kawinga,
Vinny Jr.
Hey. But I want to agree with you, Pius. I think that the defenders should have done better. Vinicius Jr. was far away. The defenders, there were two defenders who allowed the ball to slip through there. And Vinicius Jr. it was just a gift. He just finished it.
No,
the way they lined up, themselves, the way they lined up.
The guy who played in the ball, what's his name?
Valverde.
That's the guy who won them that game.
Yeah, but you see, he didn't curve it. It was just a straight cross to the, But the way the central defenders lined up, they were in the same line, so that ball beat all of them.
Because the best bowler even if they were not in the same line, now on go. That was a brilliant in-swinger, brilliant by that.
The first time I blamed Van Dijk. Should have been the last man to see where is the ball, what's happening. A corner should have been, to me, you should have been the worst result there. You should be always the last one. How do you allow Vinicius Jr. to sneak in? You should be looking at who is coming. That's the role of a sweeper and the captain, for that matter. But he was inside. He didn't see what was behind them. This chap was coming unmarked.
That Valverde guy was very fast. That was a very fast ball. It was, by the time everyone was reacting, that ball had already passed.
Yeah, but you see, Van Dijk has been coming to the party on such. That's why when he had an injury, didn't play. Liverpool didn't even finish well. But when he came back, they were almost winning the league again. He commands, but that day I don't know.
For me, the accolades must be given to him. He's being overshadowed, but trust me, for me that was the main game. That was the main guy in that game. I don't know what Danny thinks. I mean,
Danny, how did Real Madrid beat Liverpool?
Okay, I'm coming to that, Pius. Let me just say this. You saw the biasness of the English media. The way BBC, Sky News covered the game even before, it was all Liverpool. Jimmy Carragher was on TV. He's one of the finest pundits. You could see that it's Liverpool. And he even made a prediction saying he does not see Real Madrid winning. Talk of Michael Owen, the way he was coming out before the match, you could see that it's Liverpool. So when Elderman Tembo probably talks so passionately, maybe about Nkana or Kite United, you need to understand him. You know, you might be a pundit, but there's just that thing in you. Like for me, I'm in Changa Rangers, okay? And that cannot change overnight. So people need to understand those dynamics. Yes, coming to the game pass, if you looked at the Real Madrid were lining up at the back, Ancelotti knew that if you had to go punch for punch against Liverpool, Real Madrid they would have conceded in the first 10-20 minutes. He knew that. So he had to sit back and ensure that they kept the shape at the back. Any loose ball you clear, any loose ball you sweep it out. That's why a big side will look at positions. In goal you need quality, not quantity. At the back you need quality. In the midfield you need quality. Up front you need quality. Because these components make a difference at the end of it all. To tell you the truth, the first 45 minutes, Real Madrid, if they had a useless goalkeeper, that game would have ended, finished just there and there.
Yeah.
The moment Real Madrid were able to contain Liverpool the first 20-25 minutes, Real Madrid started playing football. And what gave Real Madrid a lifeline is the goal that Benzema scored and was disallowed. That was a lifeline. The moment they were coming back in the second half, you could see the way Casemiro started playing in the midfield. He was an animal. He really played his lungs out. Talk of Toni Kroos. Everyone changed in the second half. That's where Liverpool was punished. Then, for Klopp, he pressed the panic button. The moment he shuffled around his cards, whereby he started playing 4-2-4 formation. That's why he lost it. Liverpool, they have always played 4-3-3. Maintain your shape. Look at Real Madrid. We maintained the shape regardless of changing the tactics. And that paid off in the end. So, for Klopp changing the tactics, that's why he lost it. The moment Real Madrid scored, it was game over. Real Madrid had chances in the second half to would have scored more than a goal, which they fluffed. But the bottom line is character, experience, paid at the end of the day. And Real Madrid deserves to be the champions for the 14th time. Holla!
For me, I give kudos to Carlo Ancelotti.
Yeah.
Tactically, he won that game.
No doubt.
Apart from the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper was the icing on the cake. But
the shape which they kept.
I like the words Danny used. If they went punch for punch against Liverpool, they would not have survived that game. Because if you have watched Liverpool from the group stage to the final, Liverpool, I'll include even Man City, they have blown everybody out of their way.
Doubt.
And not small results, some results 5-0, 4-0, because of the firepower which they have. Real Madrid, one would not maybe have counted them as had the biggest firepower right from the quarterfinal stage, from the second round. But as a team, they have been the best team.
Team, yes.
The guys have worked for each other. They have known when to go, when to come back. And it's not a fluke if a team can get through PSG you get through Chelsea,
you
get
Man
through
City,
Man City, and finally Liverpool. You know,
such a feat
against Liverpool, they knew what they had to do. Against Man City, they preyed on them when they were at their weakest, and they got the job done. It was all about getting the job done. Same thing if you have watched Real Madrid in La Liga. For some of us who love Barcelona, you watch Real Madrid, you're even hoping they lose. There are some games where they've been 2 down, they come and win 3-2. It's like the chaps have been quite resilient, and the coach has really, really guided them well. And kudos to him winning his, is it 4th Champions League?
He's fourth. He has won everything. He has won it more than anyone else.
Yes.
But what role did Benzema play? Because I think he was just phenomenal. He was just.
He's been the best player and he was given a player of the Champions League.
Yeah.
He's been brilliant. He's carried them. He's scored the goals when they needed the goals.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He gave the assists when they needed the assists.
Yes. You know, he's been brilliant.
Yeah.
And I earmark him for Ballon d'Or.
No doubt about that.
Are you in agreement, Arthur? Ballon d'Or? Not Mohamed Salah?
No, absolutely no. But for Benzema, it's
Benzema.
He won the league and he's done a treble. So
yeah,
there's no question about it. Yeah? Salah comes in, yes, but Benzema, it's about attitude towards other players.
Okay.
Giving them the right attitude.
Yeah.
He's a commander in chief on the pitch. So even when he doesn't score, he still motivates.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, I think we can.
I think best before we close.
Yes.
There's something very interesting that happened. There were fake tickets. That is what delayed the start of the game partly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they keep blaming each other. Now politicians have
a lot
that is very
of blame game actually.
Yeah.
There's a blame game. Even politicians now have come in.
Yeah.
That's a huge scandal.
Yeah.
But I was impressed with the security at the stadium. Most of the fake tickets were rejected.
Yeah. There have been many stories, even of some Liverpool fans being mugged on the way back to the train station after leaving the stadium. At the Stade de France, it is somewhere Kukomboni area. So it's not in a very good area. So some of the Liverpool fans were attacked by some people and robbed.
Yeah, which is not.
So those are not some of the good stories. Yeah.
And a quick one I nearly forgot. We have opened 2 more districts for referees on the Copper Belt. We opened Lufwanyama and Mpongwe on a Saturday. We are trying to make sure that we spread the refereeing in almost all districts.
Yeah.
So those will be independent. We shall be training them so that they will be handling games in those remote areas. We are trying to promote the growth of the grassroots football. So.
All right.
Pass, just a quick one as well. Players that are playing active football, we are now on recess. Mutu Shevane. If you are at their social football,
at Christmas,
not good enough for you guys.
Not even that. We had a game last Saturday at Kalolush Independence Stadium. Oh, the soccer power is bad. I know it keeps them in shape, yes. But I know it keeps them the players in shape, but I think the risk factor is a bit.
It doesn't keep them in shape. Doesn't even keep them in shape. No. The body needs rest.
That's why midway through the season, Banakira.
Exact.
Because you know what happened past?
They are playing competitive games every Saturday. So every Saturday morning, so now if Saturday okay, Kalu Stadium or somewhere, you find them playing.
No.
You find them playing.
You know what will happen is simple. Right now, you're supposed to rest at least for a month. Total rest.
Yes.
So what will happen is for these guys who are playing week in, week out, the moment they start our pre-season and it's injury, then it's finished for the club of making a loss. So for clubs out there, especially Premier League and national,
they should be monitoring
national
these guys.
It's
part of their job.
That's
why there is pre-season.
Punish these players. He messes up. He's playing social league football during the break. Punish them.
Is still under you.
It's still under you. Yeah. You pay for him. Mama injury. It's you. The costs are on the club.
When the body goes into total rest, you actually avoid injuries.
Not only that, you re-energize.
Yes.
You are charging your batteries.
Even the drive pass, it's part of playing. You have to have that test to play. But if you're playing Madalas during the holidays, that really needs to be controlled.
All right, gentlemen, thank you for coming. Hopefully I'll have my voice back.
People have missed your voice, Pius. I've seen a lot of messages.
You remember what happened to League 2 weeks ago? It started well and it's
that's
just,
the show.
And that was
it kept deteriorating.
Yes, I was okay before the show, but then
even that's what happened to me 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yes.
Get well soon, Pius. We did your voice back.
Ginger,
recovered from my sore throat. Then I can read the messages properly. I've seen Barnabas Bismarck saying this is a calculation. That's for Zambia. And Kamitondo says Ghana are sweating to beat Madagascar right now. And Limpo or Walovita says good evening football family. Formula for Zambia is to qualify to AFCON to win all 3 home games and win 1 away, draw 1 away game. Lose 1 away game. No calculators this time. We should be serious this time. Play as a team, not individual. Limpo from Ndola.
That's a very good one.
Okay, I'll end there. Thank you for coming, gentlemen. We'll see you next week.
Definitely.
And Danny, Real Madrid song is coming up.
You just have to do that, boys.
Is coming up now.
Holla.
For you.
Are you ready, boys? Are you ready?
Hi guys, this is Israel.
This is Nalu.
And you are watching
Flava TV.
Tuletera go Flava TV leo mambo zijini pano pakiro market turakwata kona ifwe pya pusana so tule mpavweno ya Chimwera. ya oroto wangwakaira patuyumvira vepachirimba so evi mwachita vebwino mwatuletera nomba tuletambira na pamula basa tumokuletera polo tuma advertising tuma business o tulechita nemukwaira kivini apandeshako sakulu wamawaya mpoto atresi ngature bachita advertising ishina tonse kubalesa mukutumonako muno mwene mukusokoni yaradedeka yarapusha eriashi
Baby, follow my command, like zombie. Go down on me, you with your coca body. Follow my command, like zombie. Go down on me, you with your coca body. Cause this your milky for front in a fall.